Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Podcast. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And tonight is a very special episode of Blossom. We have a crap load of people in here. We're going to see how this goes.
Oh, shit.
I'm getting an echo already from Feisty.
I fixed it.
and it's all good. And we're going to go around the horn with some introductions. And wow, we had a lot of people waiting. Hi, everybody in the chat. And tonight we're going to be covering Avengers Infinity War. We're going to do a roundtable. And we'll start with introductions. And then we're going to go around the horn and get everybody's initial take of the movie. And then we have Susan here to moderate. So, who wants to, well, first let's introduce ourselves. So, you know me, I'm Gary. We'll start with Comics Division.
Naturally, I go first. What's up? I'm Comics Division. I have a YouTube channel called Comics Division. You can also find me on Twitter as well. I basically talk about comic book stuff.
Dennis.
Okay, I am Dennis. I am the other side of Nerdrotic. And I used to own a comic book store way back in the day in another lifetime. So that's why I'm here.
We also have the wonderful Feisty fan.
Hello, everybody. Feisty fan here. You can find me on the Twitterverse normally, and then I usually pop in on people's live streams at Feisty Comic Fan. Thanks for having me tonight, guys.
Thanks for coming on. And the Enigmatic Englentine from I Love Comics. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Or I should say, hey, true believers, Englentine here. Yeah, there you go. And yes, I also have a YouTube channel, or get a chance, check that out as well. Yeah.
Please subscribe if you haven't already. And last but not least, from 1428elm.com, Susan Leighton. How are you, Susan?
Hey, I'm fine, guys. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah. So, we're gonna start out. This is the first time I've had like a lot of people on our stream. So if it gets rough, that's the way it goes. But there's a lot of experienced live streamers here. So, and John Malin's in the house. What's up, John Malin?
Hey.
And Viking bitch, she's practically our show's producer. So that's good. So, in Avengers Infinity War, who wants to start? Who wants to go first?
How about you, since you are talking?
Okay. What the hell? I'll start. I went back and forth on this movie, guys. Like really back and forth, because when I walked out of it, I saw it in San Francisco, right? So we're a bunch of pompous asses up here, and nobody applauded, even though it was kind of a depressing ending. So I was the only one who had like a mild clap, and I felt like an idiot afterwards. I enjoyed it. Overall, enjoyed it. I have some problems with it though. I do. This is not a perfect movie. It reminds me a lot of, if you're a Harry Potter fan out there, Deathly Hallows Part 1. It really reminded me of that movie. And we'll get into the minutia of it as we go along with our conversation tonight. But I'll start out with my problems. And the first one is the end credit scene, which we can go into later. That was just terrible. When you have an end credit scene that people have to wait 15 minutes for, and then I have to like explain it to the entire row of people I was in, they're like, who was that? I said, it was Captain Marvel. Who's Captain Marvel? And then it wasn't even a good representation of her insignia. I know I'm kind of nitpicking here, but that's me. And then Spider Baby falling into the arms of Tony Stark, like that made me like lose my mind. So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Peter Parker would not do that. That was so out of character, and everything before that was great. So,
okay. Remind me, what was that?
By the way, Dennis, put your sign up.
Yeah, by the way. So, just in case you're coming in a little bit late here, we're talking about the movie, Avengers Infinity War. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And so, spoiler alert. That's what we're giving you here. There's going to be lots and lots of spoilers. So in case you can't tell, spoiler alert. There we go.
Dennis, I got a question. Is there going to be spoilers?
There are.
Okay, good.
Spoilers.
I like what John Malin said. 8-bit Captain Marvel. Yes, that's what it was. What's up, man of action? How's it going? Okay. So there's going to be spoilers on this. So at the end, when everybody starts fading away, Peter, starts doing the thing that really irritated me in Homecoming.
Okay,
he starts
okay.
crying, and I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And he
That
falls.
part, okay.
Holy shit! Peter Parker would go, watch Aunt May for me, and fade away. That's what he would do. He's one of the bravest people in the Marvel universe. So
he's still young on this one. I mean, they made him at the beginning of his career. I liked it.
I'm gonna challenge you on this one and say that what we saw was a 15-year-old kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
What we saw was a teenager. One thing that they really do highlight the man in the comic books, rather, when they're talking about Spider-Man. And yeah, he's a brave character and everything, but this is beyond comprehension to people outside. I mean, if you ever treated this like a real world situation, this is beyond comprehension. People are being wiped out of existence, just turning literally to dust in front of your eyes, and then you feel it happening, and then it happens to you. Death is scary. It is. And what we have here is someone who has always used humor to hide his fear, as he says. And in this case, there just isn't any hiding it. He's going away. He knows he's going away. And boom, Spider-Man drops away. We get Peter Parker in this. We get the 15-year-old kid in this. I thought that was one of the most powerful scenes in the film. And yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to disagree with you on that. That was just, it just stripped a hero right down to the person they are underneath the mask.
I agree. Yeah. I mean,
too. I bawled like a little bitch.
I'm going to say this right now. Gary, I know you don't like Tom Holland, Spider-Man Homecoming, this representation of Spider-Man. I know you really,
I do not.
really hate him.
I don't. Okay. I like him in Civil War. I don't like Spider-Man Homecoming. Not a fan of it.
I'm not either. So I'm with you there.
Yeah. I like Tom Holland. I do.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. I like him in it, and I thought he did a really good job. And I agree. He was a 15-year-old kid who was scared, and he was dying. That's what it was. He was going away, and it was real.
Okay, and it's totally cool to disagree. We're not going to be hating on each other or anything. That's how you feel. You know what? And that goes down to the core of this is Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes.
616 Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see with you, and that's why I was really critical of them relaunching it again with Spider-Boy. So he's basically Spider-Boy. And that's all right, but he's not Spider-Man. And that's not the one I like. And it was just, I don't know. And listen, my own family disagreed with me on that one, but that's the one that pulled me right out of it. I was like, yeah. Everything else though, man, fucking Thanos.
Now,
go on.
I'm sorry, just to keep on the standard, these heroes, big hero moments, we want them to face death and just to be the heroes that we've always known them to be. I've got to say, I just like the deconstruction here. I like the fact that it showed a humane side of it, because I don't think that a lot of people would be the heroic, and yes, I shall face death when it comes to it. I'm not saying everybody would turn into a blubbery pussy, but 15-year-old kid, dude. This is just the fact that he didn't lose it when he's standing inside of a big donut spaceship. There's a lot of stuff. They took it for granted. It's like, okay, this is our setting and we shall have our lines, rather than, holy mother, do you realize where we are? I mean, that's the kind of thing that you usually don't get out of people in comic books, because the fantastic always happens to them.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. And Logan McLeod says Tom Holland is pretty good. He's definitely going to grow into the role, and I agree with you there. I would like to see him grow into the role, but that was I only had 2 real complaints about the movie, and the end credits was way worse than the Spider-Man thing to me, which we could definitely break down later. I kind of like to see how everybody thinks about that first. What I liked about it was Thanos, like how they did Thanos. Was so fucking good. It was so good.
Which one was Thanos?
I think he was the one who looked like Homer Simpson.
He's the one who had the
I think he's the purple guy.
Yeah,
the shriveled ball sack on his chin.
That was a good line. That was a good
that
line.
was a
That's a
good
great
line.
line.
Yes. Well played, Dennis. But yeah, just overall thoughts. If I graded it, I would say like 7.5, 8 out of 10, probably. I had a good time watching it, and it gave me way more gut punches than I was ready for. Gamora's scene was gut wrenching. That was that was so well done, so fucking well done. And she's probably my favorite female character in the Marvel universe right now, and not anymore, I guess, which we'll see. But and that little girl, I don't know if it was makeup or not, but she really looked like Zoe Saldana, like really, like a lot. That was cool how they did that. So and Thor was amazing. That whole thing with Thor was just
it was totally amazing.
Couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, overall I like the movie a lot. There's for what they were given with so many freaking characters and stuff, it's astonishing that they pulled it off this well, in my opinion. So
The critics.
we'll go next, because we're gonna dive into this deep. So who wants to be next?
Because you brought up the end credit scene, and I don't think a lot of us are going to disagree with you. I've with respect to Crumble, offered to go live with him, but I figured, okay, I promised you, so the first thing I'm going to talk about it is going to be on your show. But I wanted to go head to head with him because he just hated the fact that they referenced the character, which they often do the next movie, which Ant-Man's supposed to be taking place before this movie. So I'm thinking, all right, they're not going to do that. It's going to be a Captain Marvel reference. So I wasn't really surprised they were going to do Captain Marvel. Okay, that's cool. Where was she when the Chitauri attacked? If the first movie, I'm hoping anyway, they talk about this because and I'm putting on my critic's brain here. I've got two thoughts to this. It's the geek brain and the critic's brain are two different things. But I saw that. I thought, well, if you send an SOS for that, why wasn't an alien invasion of New York? You know, you have to kind of retro think, because if she's introduced in the 90s, then he should have known about her during the Chitauri attack. So he must know a reason. Well, yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking. There must be a reason why he knew he couldn't call on her. So this opens up a lot of good questions for me to want to see the Captain Marvel movie. Was it a good reference?
Well, you cut out there. Or was it a bad one? I can finish it.
No.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, it's all everybody here is going to be, this is our reaction now. They could retcon this later. Not the biggest fan. I mean, when they totally retcon and shoehorn in characters, I'm not a fan of that at all. And I've kind of been the Dennis knows how many times I've said he's sick of hearing it, that I totally predict Captain Marvel will get the kill shot on Thanos, but I hope not. And it just reeks of the great point is, maybe she put a caveat like, hey, here's a pager, but if the Chitauri attack, do not bug me for that. Okay, they're not good enough. Only if Thanos comes, or if people start disappearing, or maybe there's some dumb caveat on it, or maybe there's some timey-wimey stuff, and like that reality didn't have her where this one does. I have no idea how they're going to play this up. My biggest thing is, like, I have no problem with Captain Marvel as a character or Miss Marvel. Dude, there's comics right below me here and I've got a full set of Miss Marvel. I've always been a fan. It's the treatment of the character lately, and
of course.
they're
Yeah.
And them trying to make her into something she isn't. And I mean, okay, here's fanboy dreaming here. What I would have loved to have seen on that pager, and I know this is impossible, but it would have had way more import with like a 4 on it or an X.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, dude. And there's still a lot of paperwork to happen before that goes in.
You're
so,
right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's fanboy thinking, and I'm right there with you as far as fanboy thinking. But they usually just hype up the next film, and it's not Ant-Man that they're going to hype up in this situation, because it's going to be because there's no one saying, "Holy shit, Thanos is coming! Ant-Man, help us!"
those words
said
no one ever.
RoboBrain 10,000 actually says the 4 or the X would make less sense, and laugh out loud.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And obviously they've run through the gambit of characters and they don't have a ton left. But I also, what I was telling the crowd there was Captain Marvel's a cool character, but I'd be just as excited for like Moondragon, and nobody knows who she is either.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Hell yeah.
Especially if she's wearing that down to the navel outfit.
That big
pretty
green
good
thing that she wears.
Mhm.
That like Dracula cape. And that's
the
a good
1970s costumes, they're
they're the best.
Back when they didn't give a care, they knew that they were going after the male gaze, basically. That was a beautiful
The
time.
very young male gaze.
Matt S says
Hey.
a Superman logo would have been better, and Kevin Dunyan says, or a Bat logo. But the thing is, this is a good movie, so those weren't going to be in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dennis?
and besides, they would
ouch.
just send the mustache. They would send the mustache. That's all. Here you go. we weren't using it, so you could take it.
Yeah,
I'll save
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's got to be a podcast starting with that, or a band with Henry Cavill's mustache, or that should
Yes.
start. So Comics
Superman's
Division,
big
man,
blood.
or you know what? Let's bring a lady. Sorry, Comics. Feisty.
It's fine. It's fine.
What'd you think?
So, overall, I really enjoyed it, and I tried to stay away from like anything related to the film. So I saw the first initial trailer, and that was it. I didn't go out of my way to watch anything, read anything, because I really don't like to have any expectations going into a film. But what I wanted to happen happened. So, with them killing off like everybody, but essentially, so. It was funny because I was like the only one that was like, well, they better because Infinity Stones. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one in the theater that knew that or whatever, but the 3 big highlights for me were at the very beginning with Thor and Ebony Maw, the big guy, like, and Hulk say, we have a Hulk. That fight, Heimdall sending him back to Earth. I was just like, yes. And then Thor pretty much made the movie for me. Him getting a weapon that made him a god again was like, oh my god! And when the moment he said Stormbreaker, I was the only one in the theater that like squealed. I was like, ah! I'm being all excited. I was the only one making any noise in the theater, and I went to a private screening with a bunch of my friends, so it was weird. And then Groot making the handle. Oh, what was that?
That was cool.
No, there's nothing.
I saw Susan pop up. I wasn't able to hear her.
Oh, you just said that was cool. That was all you said.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Groot, actually creating the handle first. Oh, I was just like, give me more. And then at the end, and the whole thing with Hulk pretty much noping out of the fight. Like, he's like, I've been beaten. I can't beat this guy. You're not getting me, Bruce. And I like the fact that he was struggling with that. So that was, made Bruce Banner and the Hulk actually like interesting to me, I suppose, in the film wise. But yeah, Thor like totally made the movie for me.
I'm gonna have a little nitpick though. Was it just me, or was there something wrong with the way Mark Ruffalo was speaking? It sounded almost like he had some kind of stroke or something like that. And
Yeah,
so...
he did sound kind of off to me. I did notice that.
I have a theory on this one because it really did start in the last one, with the Thor Ragnarok, and he became very worried. He became very worried that he was going to lose himself, and he became more and more really almost like a whiner, like he's scared. He's scared of the world because he sees himself going away. Yeah. So I think what we're seeing is a story arc. I'm sorry the issue's not coming to mind, but when I saw the Hulk going, no, it made me think of the one where they're in Bruce Banner's psyche, and Bruce Banner's telling the Hulk that you have never been the strong one. It's been me. Because he got beaten by his father. His rage was his way out. It was his childish mind, but it was Bruce Banner who's been keeping him together. I think we're going to see this play out, where Banner he just regressed because he spent 2 years as the Hulk killing people, and he was so afraid he lost himself. Well, now the Hulk is afraid to come out, so Banner is the one that has to be strong, and at some point he's going to realize that he is the one who's in control and always has been, and then we're getting into maybe in the next movie, I don't know, but I hope that's the storyline that we're seeing play out, because it just seems that way.
Also, the other point was when Tony and Strange were talking about how, he said if it came down to it, I would kill you if it meant. But then he goes through the 1 billion, the
scenarios.
14 million,
yeah. Scenarios, and then he's like, "This is the one that'll work." Oh my god! I'm just like, oh my heart. My hearts. But they really brought on the feels, and I bawled like a little bitch at the end of the movie. So I don't care. That's fine. I'm cool with it. That's all.
I did think it was in. I don't know if you want to go in any kind of order about what we're talking about, or if we're just.
No, we could be all over the place. It's all good. That's people are using that here.
Sorry, John Mallon.
By the way, John, there is no excuse for Ruffalo sucking. I just think that's why they're doing it. Because he has started talking like Woody Allen in the last couple of films, so a little bit more Jewish, and I don't even think he's Jewish. But that's the whole thing where he's like, and then it's just whining all throughout.
Yeah.
But the thing is I do believe that's the whole storyline that we're seeing play out. I did hear somewhere that the next few movies are going to be like a Hulk. Hulk's going to have a story arc, and I think this is it. I think that's what we're seeing.
I heard that too. I did hear that, and it is interesting, and it would be brilliant, and that would be a great save for him if he was playing like almost like he's having a bit of a stroke, Dennis, like because he's fighting with another psyche in his head, and it is that's some serious method acting, or he's been acting kind of weird in interviews lately too, so maybe that's rubbing. I don't know. Purely conjecture.
Yeah.
But.
And a lot of people have been saying it kind of like someone on coke.
Yeah.
I said what I was thinking.
Because I agree
And I'm not hearing comments.
with John.
I heard he agreed with John.
Yeah, essentially he's just a bad actor.
Sorry. I kind of was stretching away from the mic when I did that. But yeah, I just don't think he's a strong actor. I think he plays Mark Ruffalo in a whole bunch of things.
I agree with you there, 100%. And he could be charming in some stuff, like what the hell was that movie in San Francisco? But yeah, the other
that movie. I remember that movie
in San Francisco, right? So yeah, whatever. I don't know. I think you're right on that one though. Yeah, cocaine is a hell of a drug, says Langley. Yes,
drug.
it is one hell of a drug.
Yeah,
stay off it, kids. I have like a single nostril from that. It's like vampiric.
So Comics Division.
Yes.
Division.
Okay. Honestly, my summation of this movie is it's a fucking bullet to the head. It really is. Everything I complain about with comic books and characters and stories was not represented in this movie. I went in kind of expecting the worst. I heard everyone singing the praises of the movie. I had very low expectations, and I was massively blown away. I mean, just the first 10 minutes of the movie framed the theme of what was going on, which is everybody's going to die, essentially. And like I said, at the end of the movie, I was kind of shell-shocked. Normally I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But I was just like, wow, man, that was pretty fucking brutal. And it was awesome. Just the comedy was there because it had to be. Because if it wasn't, and I have to agree with Weaponized Nerd Rage on this movie would be really depressing. I mean, there's just parts where I'm just like, oh God. I mean,
yeah, it'd be a DC movie.
Well, yeah, you're right. It would be a DC movie. No, but the drama was appropriate, and the feelings that were being invoked, they needed to be there because Thanos is such a horrible, horrible being, and I thought they pulled him off perfectly for this movie. They did change his motivations of why he was doing this, and it completely worked. And
I was actually very surprised by that too. Yeah, I
was pretty impressed by it actually. But yeah, I mean, just the the first 10 minutes, Loki's dead. The whole scene with Gamora where they're going to go retrieve the Soul Stone is just amazing. And what's great about it is Gamora is there basically mocking Thanos, going, he finds out that he has to sacrifice something he loves in order to get the Soul Stone. And Gamora is mocking him, saying, there's nothing you care about. There's nothing you love. And you turn around and you see the tears running down Thanos' cheek. He's like, yes, there is something I care about. And it's you. And then he throws her off the cliff. And it's just like, oh! When I was telling my wife about this, she kind of gasped at it because she was to go with me and wasn't able to go. But oh my God, I was telling her about it. And she was completely blown away by that scene. And it was such a punch to the gut. Oh.
And how many people just had a geekasm when they saw Red Skull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have to say this. I was telling Gary beforehand. I actually trolled IO9 a little bit because they had a discussion thread that everyone could put in wherever they wanted. It wasn't a spoiler-free discussion thread, and they were talking about Red Skull, and I said, I can't believe Red Skull was so woke, yo. Just and someone actually thought I was being serious, and they took me up on it and started to actually discuss that.
That's hilarious.
I get triggered by words like that. It just
I get triggered by IO9.
Yeah.
Right? For that? They got it was a different actor this time around, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One Hugo Weaving was famously not for the makeup anymore.
Yeah, and also a couple other things too. He really didn't like working for Marvel, and a couple other things as well. But he wasn't coming back.
Gotcha.
And also, I just gotta say, who would have known that Thanos was such a conservationist?
Right? He's kind of like
he just wants to save the universe. No big deal. That's why
Talk about woke.
everyone.
I know.
If you cut it down, he's got the same motivations now as Ra's al Ghul. He's just got a bigger gun to play with.
Oh shit! The Batman's here. We got to leave now. We can't talk.
Yeah.
What's up, the Batman? So, yeah, that's a question I have for the entire group. Is the change of Thanos from this driven, insane, evil bad guy from the comics to driven, insane, not so bad. Like, we can kind of understand, a little bit what he's thinking. Like, the
best villains are the ones that you can relate to, I think.
Loved it.
God damn it, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
I love that scene where he
him.
goes, and he goes and shows what Titan used to look like as compared to what it looked like now, which was completely devastated by, I guess, overpopulation or whatever. I thought it gave it a lot of depth to his character as to his motivations, which has been seriously lacking in a lot of Marvel movies. I thought that was really well done. And I think the Russo brothers are really good at doing it with villains. Even though Civil War did have a bit of a weak villain, he was still very relatable on what he did. And they did a great job doing that with Thanos.
Yes, they did. I just want to take this time also for those of you joining us for the first time here or just popping in. Spoiler alert, we are talking about the Infinity Gauntlet. So spoiler alert on this. So we are spoiling the shit out of this. That's your only warning. Your last warning, I should say.
Maybe your last warning. I thought it was really well done too. And they basically a Magneto, Thanos, those are my favorite kind of villains as well. The whole mustache twirling evil villain, it just doesn't play well anymore. It was great for its time, but this is not that time anymore. So it
plays better in print. It plays better in print, especially if you've got months or years worth of story to tell this in. But if you are doing a movie, you have to have a hook. You have to get them in quickly and have people relate, because so far we've had what of Thanos calling Ronan boy, putting on a glove and turning around and smiling. So we haven't gotten a lot of Thanos, so they needed something to make us love to hate him. And it reminded me of a scene from a book called The Sandman, written by a guy named Neil Gaiman.
Who's
Never
that?
never heard of
in this book, Sandman goes to hell and inadvertently convinces Lucifer to leave hell, and he leaves these angels behind, and they say, well, we're no longer going to punish you out of hatred and out of vileness. We're going to do it out of love. And the person he is saying this to goes, no, that's so much worse. And so that's kind of what Thanos has become. He cares for life, therefore there must be death.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes him that much more evil, because how can you say you care for life when you're wiping out half of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is insane. The other thing too, I was pretty impressed by was the pacing of the movie. It was a constant run, and you had these little breaks to catch your breath, and that's something I think has been kind of lacking from several of the more recent Marvel movies, specifically Thor Ragnarok, and I would even say Black Panther. I think they really nailed the pacing of the movie, and I was actually pretty impressed about how they were able to have all these characters and make it work. The only thing I really can complain about is I don't think Cap or Black Panther had enough screen time. But honestly, I don't see how without making it maybe like another 30 minutes.
I'm very glad they did it the way they did, because
I did too, honestly.
This was a Marvel movie, so much more than any other Marvel movie that's come before it, because it's every character. If it was Cap and Black Panther, it'd be like, Civil War II. I'm very happy with the way they.
Yeah, I just feel that they could have used a little bit more screen time. But other than that, I think they nailed it big time. This is definitely the best Marvel movie so far.
John Mellon actually has a good point. He says, I don't want to empathize with bad guys too much. Thanos was just enough to still be able to hate him. Ending helped with that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It also helps that he kills all the characters we know and love or kind of like. And then what does he do? He sits down, smiles, and enjoys the sunset. All the while we're left going, whoa. Hold on. Wait a second. You just killed everybody, and this is what happens to you? I would love to hear from people who don't know that this is a two-parter.
Yeah, that was a brutal ending.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot more than you think who don't know it's a two-parter. And even if I know there's some people out there, I don't think anybody here on this panel who don't like the movie, I would definitely say wait till you see the second half of this. Because if you haven't seen it and you want to listen to us talking about spoilers, like it's definitely a first part. Listen, much as I didn't like prior the death or disappearance of Peter Parker and Black Panther, like more than anybody else, I could not believe Black Panther. I was like,
well, you saw what they did, didn't you?
Yeah, they went back to all the original.
Yeah,
Avengers.
Look who's left.
Yep.
Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man. It's all the original Avengers. Basically, they got but the thing is also, if you think about it, they just saved all of the new guys. You might want to talk to your super chat here, guy.
I want to say yes. Thank you to Vera Magisha for $5. She said, "Spoilers, sweetie. Warning for those who have joined after I said spoiler alert." So yes, we do have a spoiler alert for this movie.
So what we're going to see, I don't think I'm spoiling anything for the next movie because I don't know anything about the next movie. But to me, it's obvious that we're going to see the old guard sacrifice themselves for the new, because basically they just sent all of the new people into protection. So now all you have to fight Thanos are the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
And when they bring everybody back, if they do the whole snap theory, before the snap you're still dead. It could be where these people will remain dead or at least some of them, while the new people are still alive, kicking, ready to make new movies.
Yeah. And without knowing anything, I think people prior to the snap should remain dead. I think that
yes, I agree.
Yeah, those were impactful, and dude, like right in the beginning, Loki. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought he was going to die, and I still wasn't ready for like how he died. That was brutal.
That was brutal, and it was heartbreaking too.
Tone. Yeah, it was. Oh, dude! Like he almost popped his eyes out of his head. That was gnarly. Thing is, you cannot translate. Okay, so Batman says, thing is, you cannot translate a comic book story into a movie financially, logistically. You can. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, none of us expect perfection, and one works better than one. Like Englentine said, there's some stuff that works great on paper,
Mhm. Yeah.
and live action, it's ridiculous. And the fact that they made Thanos look good, sound good, gave him character,
Yes.
and made a movie about him was fucking incredible.
And the other thing, John, that point out was, where was Mrs. Death? I don't think she would have worked for this movie.
She wouldn't.
I absolutely agree.
Which is why I'm glad they changed it the way they did.
And before I do that, I want to say thank you to Viking Bitch for the $2. Says I want to hear what Susan has to say. Susan hasn't seen the movie, so she's going to be moderating for us.
Yeah.
Holy
later
shit,
on.
we're here spoiling the hell out of the movie, and she hasn't seen it.
She knows.
She knows. Yeah, she knows what she's gotten herself into.
So that is a good time. I think that's a good segue. Thank you, Viking Bitch. Susan, you got some questions ready?
Actually,
Hey.
yes, I do.
Awesome.
We still have two more people, don't we?
A lot of
Oh, do
talk-
we? Okay. Hey, sorry, Susan. Okay, have we gotten through?
We haven't
Dennis?
gone through everybody. No. we
Okay.
haven't. I believe we still have I Love Comics and me.
Okay, well then do it.
So I'm going to let our guest go first here.
But what are we saying here?
Just basically how we what we thought about the movie, how we liked it, and
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a
Or not liked it.
review. I'm gonna be doing a review, and it's gonna basically be my geek brain versus my critic's brain. Okay, the movie is bad. It's a very bad film. That's flat out it. I'm
Whoa.
sorry, guys. Here, the thing is every movie has to win the audience by itself. It has to present characters. It has to make those characters come to life. This doesn't do this. This movie assumes that you've already seen 18 movies prior to it. And in that way, it is a bad movie. I'm sorry, guys. On the other hand, this movie's fucking awesome.
No, and I agree with you, Hamilton, on that aspect. That's
So,
kind of the
yeah,
problem
it-
with some of these movies like
Here's
that.
the
You have
thing.
to see all of them.
I have promised that I would always tell the truth about in any of my reviews. And that is how I have to present it when I do my review. But I'm here now and talking to you and your people. So you know what? This movie is so fucking cool. Are you kidding me? When Iron Man first suited up and had those, I giggled. I was like, yes. I mean, oh my gosh, this film was just so. It is. And here's the thing. Here's a weird thing about this movie. What I said before is absolutely bullshit, because this movie was set up to be exactly what I said it was. What's wrong with it is exactly what this movie was set up to be. But that kind of movie, just based on the fact that it doesn't present its characters well, it doesn't build characterization in this film. You're already supposed to know them. Based on that, it's a bad movie. But oh god, it's so good. I mean, it is honestly,
It's an episode of television.
And
Yeah.
the thing is yeah, this is a movie that's almost critic proof because it is set up to be the end of watching 5, 6, 7 movies at least out of the 17 now that came before it.
Yeah, this is
So
number 19.
it really is number 9. Okay, yeah, 18. So the 18 movies before it, at least you need to watch the ones that represent the Infinity Stones, and that's what really makes this movie critic proof. So while my honest critic brain is going, dude, it just doesn't. My geek brain is saying this is the best movie that Marvel has produced. This gives all the fanboy service. Everybody got a chance to shine in this film. Even fucking Black Widow. All she shows up, she jumps on somebody's neck, puts her snap. Oh, sorry for the language. Sorry.
It's okay, man.
He jumps on, scissor heads everybody, punches them in the face a couple of times, and then we're supposed to believe she's a good fighter. This time she took on an alien faster and stronger than herself, and she came out on top. We got to see why she is with the Avengers for the first time since ever. So everybody got a chance to shine, except for, of course, the Hulk, which I believe we're going to get that in the next movie. this movie is just so fucking cool. There were so many moments where I was like, that is so awesome. I love this film.
Yeah.
It's, it's just amazing. It's like I said, if you got to be an honest critic, you have to point out all the flaws. But if you have watched these movies, like we know we all have, it is the best of them because it gives everybody, everyone gets a moment to shine. Everybody gets a moment to show you why they are badass. So
that's well said, man. I mean, yeah, you got to throw your logic and disbelief out the fucking window on this movie completely. Like the reality gem, they showed it great when they went to nowhere, and you saw that Thanos can like pretty much fake a reality to okay, so why didn't he use that later? I don't care because he didn't use it later because it wouldn't have made an interesting movie, and I don't give a shit. If you want to critique it on that, that's fine. But it's a comic book movie, like you just said. It's the final chapter of something you have to watch 18 movies on. This is for one historic. We'll never see this again, and they did as well as they could. So I mean, there's going to be people out there bitching about this movie. I'm counting it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be out there, and they're going to be right. You're right. There's going to be tons. It's like Civil War. Man of Action brought this up on one of your streams about if you think about Civil War too much, it kind of falls apart. But that airport scene was so kick-ass.
Oh yeah, his plan in that just had so many unbelievable variables that it okay, so he knows he's going to come alone. He knows that at the same time he's interviewing Winter Soldier, somebody's delivering an EMP, and it's going to happen rather than it's something wrong with the mechanics, or there's just so much that had to happen in order for that plan to work. It was ridiculous.
But that's a movie trope, though, and that's kind of the problem with that. That's the bad guy gets captured so they can escape trope. It's you see it in Bond movies, you see it in every action movie. It's dumb. Yes, John Malice breathing in space. I know that was something I completely overlooked, but I honestly didn't care at that point because
he's a god.
The movie was so good. Yeah, he's a god. You could go with that too.
Yeah, and Peter would have been pretty dead on that ship.
Yeah, he would have.
I don't know. I believe in God. I don't believe you can breathe in space.
It's also it's a comic book movie. That's how I look at it.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
It's got comic book logic sometimes. That's all.
Okay, Dennis, go.
All right. So, My Little Pony. I really liked the part where
friendship.
Yeah, it's about friendship.
Friendship.
No, so as I said, I did a little spoiler-free review on Facebook, and I said this is kind of like I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, by the way. This was like the first Lord of the Rings, only shorter and better. So it actually got to the point where it was supposed to go. It went on this epic journey where they're hunting down these crystals, and they finally got to the end of it. All in this. I mean, I know this is one half of a movie, but it was a journey, a quest, and you did have an outcome at the end. And they did a really fucking good job of it. And I have to say, Red Skull was probably my highlight out of seeing him in this, just the way he was in that. That was just really cool. Yeah. That whole scene, actually, the whole thing of, like we've said before, Gamora being killed,
and that was a little wink and nod to death.
Yes,
a little bit.
And well, I also think the end scene too with Thanos waking up and finding little Gamora. I'm wondering if he was talking to Death.
Well, that was the soul.
He's in the Soul Storm. He's in the Soul Stone when he does that.
Yeah, but is Death maybe in the Soul Stone?
I thought that they were going to show Death, but now this of course is just a theory. We haven't seen the movie, but when she died because she was part of the sacrifice, I think that she went into the Soul Stone.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that Gamora is going to be very instrumental in destroying Thanos because she can do it from within the Soul Stone. She has now control of one of the stones. or she will find. That's my theory to it. Anyway,
No, it's a good theory because the Soul
That is-
Stone works on its own rules, different
Yeah.
from the rest of the Infinity Wars.
And I have to say this much: I agree with Thanos. Doctor Strange was a fucking idiot. He had the time gem in his
the time
grasp
gem and didn't use it.
and didn't use it at all. And he used it against Dormammu. That's the whole thing. We saw him. He knows how to use it. He knows how to.
Yep.
But
to-
he saw the future too and knew that there was only a few out.
Yeah, but
There's only one
you
outcome.
could see it. You could see it that there was only one way to beat it, and Doctor Strange set it all up. That this is how we have to let him win in order to defeat him.
I saw that as
Because-
well. Yeah, I thought that was also the case too. That this is the only way they can actually win is by letting him win, and because he destroys the gauntlet by doing this, by killing off half the universe. We saw that too.
The stones aren't destroyed.
No.
What he used to control the stones with were
Yes.
destroyed.
And can I just chime in here really quick? Can we
Yeah.
all just take a little nod at Peter Dinklage playing a dwarf? who's a
Oh
giant?
yeah,
Yeah.
That was something I wanted to bring up. That part was
A
fantastic.
giant dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah, the giant dwarf.
Who would have thought that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I was kind of, that was the other thing that kind of perturbed me too, and I started thinking about it, was they said, okay, the Elric or I can't remember his name. Elri, I believe is his name. The dwarf made the gauntlet for Thanos. And then, but we saw Thanos that there was actually a gauntlet in Asgard. So we knew that the gauntlet existed at some point in time before that.
Yeah, I thought
So-
about that too.
How did this come about?
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, did the gauntlet come before Thanos? So Thanos before the gauntlet? Okay, it's a comic book movie. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But it
maybe
was
they-
just one of those things.
Maybe they just used
They-
the design from the fake. Or maybe the gauntlet the design for it is ancient and people have tried to put it together before, and
It could be a gauntlet that he made for Thanos, so he decided to make it for Odin. So Odin has one also if he needed to search for the stones before Thanos got to him.
Interesting. Yeah.
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 If we're doing
Yeah.
stupid theories, it could be that, because we all know what it really is. They didn't have a plan for Thanos until Avengers, and then so they had to go back and say, hey, what about this cameo you had here? So they had to rewrite it. Fake.
Yeah, I think they just retconned it.
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be lots of that coming.
And I also have to say, I really loved that they finally addressed Tony's PTSD.
Yes.
When he finally says, this is 6 years. He's been in my head for 6 years now.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That
Yeah.
was good.
And he's
I
like,
loved Iron Man in this movie for that, because
Mhm.
he had things that could take care of what Thanos was throwing at him.
yeah.
So that it's like I've been waiting for him, and the way he fought Thanos for as long as he did, you realize, holy shit, maybe he has been playing all these Iron Man upgrades. Maybe they really have been him preparing to fight Thanos.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And
Honestly,
come
I
on.
didn't think about that. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice, England team.
And how many
Well,
how many people? I
he
know.
hints at that at the beginning of the movie, though. That's the
Mhm.
whole thing where Pepper was giving him shit about having the the glowy thing. And she's like, "Well, you had it removed." I was like, "Well, you never know. Stuff in the closet."
Well, he also said that in Civil War, I believe it was, where he says, or no, not Civil War, but Age of Ultron, where he said things are coming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has always known that something's going to show up. He, of course, at that point was talking about a return of the aliens, and then when Scarlet Witch took over his mind, he realized that there's something worse than the aliens out there coming after us.
Mhm.
And even in Iron Man 3, I mean, he destroyed all his armors, but at the same time, you could tell he was going to be working on a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay, for one, the name TK420. 420. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. And
I noticed that too.
and Matt S says Odin is a program in Westworld. Ha ha, Matt, you're funny. Westworld's amazing. All right, so this is a good time to finally get to Susan. You still awake, Susan?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm
All
here.
right. So we're
Are you
gonna get
confused
to-
yet?
No, actually, I'm not confused. Oddly enough, Because I had some questions listening to you guys, because one of the things that I read today when I was doing some research on the film is Groot. I'm surprised nobody mentioned Groot.
Well,
Because apparently he had one of the critical storylines to the film. So I was wondering if maybe somebody wanted to talk about that.
I'd like to ask one technical question, and again, I don't want to nitpick the movie too much because you can. There's tons of stuff like Groot used his body to create Stormbreaker's handle. Even though it's separated from that, if Groot disappears, doesn't the handle disappear? That's
what I thought too. Yeah,
I think about.
I don't know if you. Here's my answer to that is when Stormbreaker comes to power, you see like a flash over the whole hammer, so it may have been enchanted.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Because it kind of looked as if it was enchanted, and it was going to move to Thor's hand after that. Because there was that flash right there. It might not be what they intended, but it is a way that you could explain that particular plot hole away from,
Well, I can also write that off that it's no longer a part of Groot. Groot cut it off. He cut off his arm. Yeah, so I would say that it's no longer a piece of Groot, which is the reason why it didn't disappear.
Gotcha.
And I have to. Yeah, I was going to talk about that too.
Talk about Mr. Neely's got one of the best lines in the movie.
So one of the best lines in the movie is like, "You speak Groot?" And he goes, "Yes, it was an elective in Asgard."
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was a good line. Good line.
Dang it, I missed that because work called. Why does everybody call me? Oh yeah, I'm a manager at a store. That's right.
I don't know. When it came to superhero movies, even when I was the owner, my phone was off. I don't care if it was on fire.
Damn straight.
Well, at least feels the Spider-Man
their bosses
movie.
are answering their phone, so fuck them.
At the comic store, they can fucking wait. Just say, just tell them what I told them every time. It'll be 2 weeks. I just ordered it. It'll be 2 weeks. And of course, I'd forget, and it'd be 2 more weeks. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I agree with Sophia Campos here. Also, that I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. That
was good.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
So I was going to say a lot of people in the chat I've been noticing have been taking umbrage to Thor going out and making Stormbreaker to, I guess, make his powers a little more focused. And they figure that's a waste of time in the movie when they could have spent it more on with some of the other characters. I didn't think it was. I don't
know. I like the whole journey.
I thought it worked.
Yeah, I like the whole journey that, because in Thor 3, he didn't feel like he, was worthy because his hammer was gone. So this is like a journey to get a new weapon to I don't know. Because what is Thor without his weapon? Really?
If he showed up without the hammer or without the axe, it wouldn't have worked. I don't think it would have worked.
The thing is what you just described there is a regression. I mean, if he's like, yes, I am one without my hammer, I control it, but I really do need that hammer. It's like Linus with his blanket, except for now it goes to his axe or hammer or something.
He was just getting his manhood back. That's all it was.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He was supposed to have his manhood without the hammer, but by that line of thinking that you just brought up, it's like I said, he's Linus without the blanket. He's got to find it or he gets the cold sweats. I can't do my lightning anymore.
It kind of did take away the whole point of Thor Ragnarok at the end.
But you know what? I'm going to turn this around. It's not Linus with his blanket. It's not Linus with his blanket. It's Arthur Franzarelli with his jacket.
Hey.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, and Stormbreaker. So
it's Samson without his hair.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he knows that he's cool without the jacket. It's just more cool with. So
plus you got to have a weapon. You can't fight just bare-fisted all the time, too. You have to have an axe with a hammer.
Yeah,
and he does look cool. I do have to admit they missed it, and I understand why. But come on, how many people wanted to hear the Immigrant Song when the hammer came flying?
Yes, I did. I wanted to hear it.
I was hoping because I realized what was happening. I was like, "Oh, please play it." Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I just want to hear that.
That would have been cool.
They didn't do it because I loved the musical cue in the subway when she throws the spear. Captain America catches it, goes, and you hear the Avengers theme song well up. I was like, "Oh, Oh, so cool.
That was the
Yeah.
second biggest cheer in our theater. Like when Thor came down to Wakanda, that was the biggest cheer. Like when people like went ape shit. But yeah, when Cap showed up, that was the second best one. That was brilliant.
You're all screwed now.
Chills.
Yeah, and Langley Neely says, "I love that Thor has Bifrost powers too."
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wait, so what?
So now he can travel to the space where Asgard used to be.
Well, let's get to Susan's next question because yeah.
Sure. Okay. You guys have touched upon this a little bit earlier, but we all know how fans can be. And since everybody pretty much, pretty much rode off into the sunset, not of their own accord, one of the things the critics were saying is that they were gauging that some of the fans would be pissed off next May when they see, obviously, part 2 of this journey. Do you guys feel that that's going to be the case, that there might be a little backlash? What do you think about that?
You can't please all the people all the time.
Yeah, agreed.
No, you can't.
That's what it is.
And there's gonna be naysayers. For one, DC fans love you to death. I do. I'm not a Marvel nor DC fan. I love you both, but DC fans hate Marvel movies. Any chance they get to shit on them, they'll do it. Excuse me. And you gotta love them for it, man. They love their DC. That's okay. But there's also gonna be people who there's a God, this is big time in the media, and there's also a group think that goes out there that loves to build shit up and then break it down. I mean, they like to be contrarians almost. So you put that out of the way. I don't know. It depends on how they do it, Susan. It's if they really cheapen it up and using time travel and every single person comes back down to Loki within the first 10 minutes and it's a cartoon, I think that would piss people off.
Yeah.
You keep some people dead. And it's obvious who's coming back.
The people that have sequels in the mix, they're going to
Yes,
be back.
that's pretty apparent.
Yeah,
So I'm not worried for
Infinity
Spider-Man or
films.
Black Panther. We know they're coming back.
Yeah. Because like Engelton
Like I said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go around. I think you're about to say what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, like Engelton said that, back at the beginning with all of this is that what I think he hit something central to what may happen in part 2. You have the original Avengers left. I don't know, who does it. I don't think this is correct, but I'm just going to say it. I think that Robert Downey Jr. is one of the ones that's fulfilled his contract obligation. And the thinking is that somebody's going to make the grand gesture, or a couple of them are going to sacrifice for the good of the many. Can you guys see that coming? Do you think that's a possibility?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And it would go from price down. And Robert Downey Jr.'s probably got the biggest bullseye on him. Not to mention the fact that we have not gotten an Iron Man movie since Iron Man 3. And what was that, 2013?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been quite a while. He's been around, but we haven't gotten an actual Iron Man movie. So I definitely see him. And God bless, the man looks gorgeous, 100% heterosexual. But Chris Evans, damn.
There
I'm
were
sure he
so
doesn't wanna-
many people
I'm
in the
sure he
theater
doesn't
without
want
a
to.
beard.
I'm sure he doesn't want to exercise like that all the time now that he's getting a little closer to 40 than 30. So, yeah, I would not be surprised if Captain America is a goner as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. As Christian said here in the chat, Steve and Tony are
Yeah.
gone.
Tony. And sorry, Chris Evans, Captain America fans, and he is a handsome devil with a good beard. Okay, but the hairpiece was getting a little much on the action scenes a little bit. It actually flopped over one time.
I missed that. That's great.
Yeah. So yes, he has a hairpiece, but that's okay, because bald is beautiful too. Listen, we
There's
all are
also-
losing. We're all
According to
losing it a little
Savage Dragon.
bit. Yep.
Oh, no.
There's also a lot of talk about crossovers too. People were talking about the potential for Thor to cross over with Guardians of the Galaxy because of the chemistry between him and Star-Lord, you know, Star-Lord being insanely jealous of Thor. And do you guys see that as a possibility? Like all these crossovers, like somebody even mentioned, you know, Peter and Tony, because it's like a father-son or a mentorship. How do you guys feel about crossovers?
I think it's actually a great idea. I don't think they'll do it, but I think it's a good
kind
idea,
of worked
though.
with Ragnarok, with Hulk being
Yeah, they did.
They did it.
Yeah, they did. The thing that's, like I said, I don't know if they'll actually do any more than what they've already done. I hope they do. I think they'll be great. And also, as far as my predictions are concerned, I think the only one who's going to bite it is going to be Cap. I think Iron Man. I think Tony will retire.
Goes off into the sunset with Pepper, has a kid or something. Yeah, that's, I like that.
I would not doubt. I would not doubt if I think Thor is the only one that has the potential of getting a fourth film because he just got a new lease on life with Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. So that's not saying it will, of course, because they've got their plan, and you know, I guess we're bringing the women to Marvel Universe, but you know,
I'd like to see like Angela. I'm sorry, but I would love to see Angela in a Thor movie.
Lansbury?
Yeah.
Thor, she wrote. There you go.
Thor, she wrote. Yes. I don't, because in my heart of hearts, she belongs in Spawn, and that's where she should stay.
Naysayer!
I just want to say, because Stormbreaker is out there now, Beta Ray Bill.
Yes!
Beta Ray Bill.
Yes!
That's
all I want.
That's all I want too. Oh my, Dennis, you're my new best friend. Yes.
I agree with the Man of Action. Tony's gonna die. Hello, Riri.
I hope they don't. I that's something I've thought myself, and my God, I hope they don't do it.
I hope they do. I hope they do, and I will tell you why. Because I have been sitting on a copy of Invincible Iron Man #7, just waiting for this fucking movie. I haven't unloaded that piece of shit just because I'm waiting for the movie to come out and all the speculators to want it so I can sell it to them.
Oh my God, I love that. Every time a comic book movie, no matter how shitty it was, like when Punisher Warzone came up, it's like, oh, okay, Amazing Spider-Man 129. There you go.
And even Punisher Warzone went up a little bit.
Yep.
But
God bless. Like Runaways went up when the TV series came out. I sold a set of Runaways for like $300. I was like, nice, right on.
Yeah, I don't care about the character. I'm not a fan of the character, but God bless those speculators. I want her to be in a movie just so I can unload this piece of shit comic book for a good price.
Hey, they really wanted that to work. They did. But I think Kevin Feige's smarter than. Well, I don't know.
I hope he is. I really do. And if they were to kill him, I would want Rhodey to take over as Iron Man.
Dude,
yeah,
Rhodey is damn near 50, and in this movie, he looked damn near 50.
Yeah,
he did.
I thought he was 60 for a second there. I didn't know he was near 50.
Yeah, Don Cheadle. There was a lot of gray in his hair.
Well, it wasn't just gray. He was very.
He's gaunt.
Yeah,
he's gaunt as well.
He was very gaunt.
So yeah, they're getting older, gang. So bring up these new kids. You know, have Black Panther lead them. Hey, that's fine. Oh, is it me now? I saw it, but there's no confirmation. So I'm gonna leave it to the nerds here, and we're all nerds. There's no insult there. But Captain America was wearing black. He had given up being Captain America. Is this the movie version of USA Agent?
No, he was actually in the Ronin outfit. They've said it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. Just
that was the Ronin.
I was wondering because I saw the star. I saw the star on his chest, and I thought, wow, that's paint it white, and he's USA Agent.
Yeah, well, it looks like one of his older Shield outfits.
That was more Nomad than Ronin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like.
Wait, didn't Nomad have a cape, or am I thinking of a different Nomad?
Nomad had a funky costume that didn't look anything like that. But yeah, if you want to go more black, yes, it would be U.S. Agent. But that, yeah,
I don't think it was black. I think it was still blue.
Did Ronin have the star on the chest?
No, Ronan was Hawkeye, remember? And
Yeah.
so he
Nomad had like a blue and yellow costume.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Ronan Hawkeye in the second.
Oh
one.
hell yeah, that would be cool. That would, you
But-
know what, Hawkeye in a fucking costume would be nice, not looking like a GI Joe guy.
Yeah, because right
No offense,
right
man,
now
action.
he would have been in the Triskelion. He would have been taken out. So he's got to have a different identity as well. So I would expect Hawkeye to be Ronan, and like I said, without except for the star being black and not white, that looked like a U.S. agent. But once again, I'll leave it to you guys because
No, I don't think it was actually black. I think it was blue. It just looked like a very tattered and old shield outfit that he wore like in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, well, he
Okay.
blacked out the star. It's like he used a Sharpie on it or something.
It looked like it was torn off to me.
Was it torn off?
Yeah,
I
it looked
can't
like it was
tell
actually
which one's
removed.
Jonathan Brown asks, "Am I the only one who thought the Black Order was too easily killed in this movie?"
No.
That's a good criticism.
Yeah,
Proxima Midnight, dude. Oh my god. Woman boner. Yes. My lady boner for Proxima Midnight.
I don't know. I
I
thought that was actually a pretty cool death, though. I mean, having Scarlet Witch just kind of throw her into the thresher.
That was pretty awesome and gross.
Yeah. And then what was
I
it
have
on
to
the
say,
thresher?
they killed off at the end of the movie. They killed off the right Black Panther character because they kept all the good characters from the movie and they got rid of the boring one. You know, so as long as you keep Okoye, you could get rid of that guy in that black outfit, and I am just fine.
Black Panther, he was better in Civil War than he was in his own movie.
Yeah, he was.
I rewatched that movie. You know, of course, I'm doing the reviews for all of them. Obviously, I'm going to be doing a couple of them out of order. But, dude, I rewatched that movie and I thought, okay, I was wrong. I'm going to watch this. I'm gonna feel better about it. I'm sure. And I watched him like, no, Black Panther is boring as hell.
No,
and I want to find out more about Okoye. I want to find out more about his sister, about the Hobbit. And I'm so fucking pissed that they killed off Claw so early in the movie. You know, everybody but Black Panther was exciting in that film.
Agreed. Totally agreed. And okay, well, Proxima Midnight was cool. Like some of the CG was not great. I hate to be that guy, but
I don't know why they did that with her because I think it would have been better if they just used prosthetics and makeup rather than just like CGing her face. That really bothered me.
They skinnied out. If you looked at it, they skinnied out the bottom part of her face where and enlarged out the horn, so it looked like it was growing out of the side of her head. I noticed it when she was doing that when they were doing the close-ups, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the reason they went CGI with that. So you really couldn't do the prosthetics on it without still doing some CGI. They really wanted to make her look alien.
Gotcha.
And they did, but sometimes it wasn't great. Sometimes it was fine. It was fine. It's again, a small nitpick. What's your next question, Susan?
A lot of people are saying that perhaps the second movie that's coming next year is going to be a huge setup to introduce Captain Marvel because they're feeling like she might be the ace in the hole to take on Thanos.
Oh,
What
they just announced it.
Huh?
They just, at the end of the movie, they announced she's the ace in the hole to take on Thanos, pretty much. Everybody who's still there just got their asses whipped by Thanos. The only person that they're talking about who didn't so far is Captain America. Now, that's not to say that she's going to have the killing blow.
I mean, Captain Marvel.
And I think that would be a huge cop-out if they give her the killing blow. But I do believe that she will definitely be instrumental in defeating Thanos.
Okay, show of hands, or actually a show of voices. Who here thought Captain America got killed when Thanos punched him in the head?
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Because when it happened, I thought I was having a flashback to Sarah Connor Chronicles when the Reese brother just got taken out by a random Terminator running down the hallway.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, "Whoa, did he just get killed?" And then he comes back, and I'm like, "Okay." It was just weird because the way he got punched in the head like really hard, I thought that Thanos had taken him out because I was waiting for him to die.
I thought Tony was going to eat it.
With that punch, yeah.
Feisty, you're thank you. You're
You're not supposed to super chat
You're
when
giving
you're
us money
on the
for-
I'm
podcast.
not. I'm supporting your channel. That's what I'm
Thank you.
doing.
Freaking Feisty. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Feisty.
thank you.
Love you.
Hugs. Yeah, there we go. You mean like a William Peterson? Nobody's gonna see this movie. Anybody see Live and Die in L.A.?
Oh yeah.
Die in L.A. When William Peterson died, it was like the most shocking death of a main character because he just turns the corner and gets his face blown off by a shotgun. And you're like, wow, did not see. I've been following this guy the entire movie and he's dead. Who do I root for now? Yeah. So, Captain Marvel. We can get talking. Let's unpack. God, I hate that fucking saying. The fucking Captain Marvel thing. I'll start out with, I like Miss Marvel. I like Captain Marvel as a character. Carol Danvers. I thought one of the best goddamn stories I ever read was kind of when she died. Was Avengers Annual number 10 when Rogue steals her powers, and that was a good freaking death. That's still one of the best deaths in comics to me. They brought her back, and lately Marvel has been trying to for the 5 people in here who don't know what has been going on with Captain Marvel, they've been really trying to make her Wonder Woman. Okay, that's and they've been doing this prior to the Wonder Woman movie. So
They've been trying to make her Wonder Woman. Like, geez, I thought they've been trying to make her a man.
well, that too. Okay, yeah, Wonder Man. Okay, and you know what? If it was Wonder Man symbol on that page, I would have been just as moved as by seeing her symbol.
If it was a picture of Nathan Fillion, I'm sorry, I would have just whipped it out and started. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I would have waited.
That would have been holy crap! I can't hold my geek boner anymore. I mean, if they showed Wonder Man and this had Nathan Fillion in his freaking sunglasses, oh my gosh, yeah, hell yeah, that would have been cool as shit. Yeah.
But we got Captain Marvel. So and I'd love to hear what everybody yikes. What everybody thinks about that.
I have a dark side. Everybody's allowed.
Everybody's allowed. We all do. That's why I go to therapy and AA meetings. The thing is, it's not natural. They're trying to put something in that's not working. They've restarted her comic book, 7 times in the last 10 years. People don't like the character that much. They want you to like them, but it's like trying to go out and make a viral video. You can't go out and make a viral video. It just fucking happens.
Right.
You can't force people to like a character that they just feel meh about. I agree with many YouTuber commenters who equate her to the generic superhero you put on side of a plumbing van or something. That wants to put a superhero next to their logo. She's nothing. There's nothing big to her character, and that's not the character's fault. It's the writer's fault. When Reed was writing her back in the mid 2000s, it was pretty good. That was pretty good series. But they've done her no justice lately to warrant her to be the savior of the Marvel universe. Now, if they just want to insert her into the movie and she's part of the Avengers, okay, fine, that's cool, whatever. But the insinuation at the end is like, this is our savior. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I think it's fine as an introduction to her character, to the MCU, but making her the savior of the Marvel universe is kind of dumb because nobody knows this character, and quite frankly, I think they cast the wrong person for Captain Marvel. I love Viking Bitch's icon because it's Lagatha from Vikings. I can't remember the actress's name, but I was so hoping that they were going to cast her, and I know that she's older and they could only have her play Captain Marvel for so long, but I felt that she would have been the perfect Carol Danvers.
Actually, we were talking about it in our very long pre-production meeting, Gary and I, and we were saying Katie Sackhoff.
Yes, Katie Sackhoff is also a good choice.
Yeah,
she's a girl crush of mine.
She is, and she's got a great personality.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brie Larson has that. I mean, I haven't seen her enough stuff. I've seen her in Scott Pilgrim, and I think that's it. And she was okay. She was pretty good. But they need her.
The reason.
No, go on.
If you remember the timing, they hired her right after she just won an Oscar. So I would assume that Marvel thought she had heat on her.
That's true,
And that's
but
why I picked her.
Marvel took their fucking time making this movie. Like they dragged their feet for a year,
Mhm.
and I think they were sussing out whether they really wanted to make it or not, or how to insert her in.
Yeah.
And which isn't Brie Larson's fault, but the impact of it, we'll see. I mean, listen, I can hear the arguments now, and they are correct. Iron Man was a C-list character before Tony Stark took over, and I totally agree. That's the one comic book character from a movie that I could say actually impacted the day-to-day sales for a comic book over a long period of time. Is Iron Man. I had 8 subscribers for Iron Man when I opened my store, or when I bought it in 2003. And when I sold it in 2013, I had like 200 subscribers for Iron Man. So that's Robert Downey Jr. So is Brie Larson Robert Downey Jr.?
No. And
The thing
those
is,
production stills that they have of her, she just does not look happy in that costume. So I don't know if I can really buy her.
Well,
as that
okay.
character.
I'm gonna just say this. I've worked on a set before. In between takes, it's hot. You're waiting for lighting. You're waiting for everything. Nobody is ever
Happy.
crappy.
I'm pretty sure that is the case, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that doesn't translate over to her character in the movie.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like those Teen Titan pictures. We have no idea about the context of them. So while they do look horrible, and the picture of Brie Larson didn't look much better, we don't know the context, and we don't know what they're going to do to spice it up a bit.
I don't know what you're talking about. That Starfire costume looked awesome.
But you compare it to what we're seeing out of Shazam, the
that's-
Shazam movie, where he
That's
looks
because you
awesome.
you live in San Francisco. You see a lot of guys dressed like that. So seeing one more dressed like that in New York didn't bother you.
No,
Long walk
that's
for a
every
really
day
good
here.
gym.
That's down the street. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood here. As long as nobody's getting shot, do what you want. Luckily that's tonight. Tonight nobody got shot yet, so we'll see. With that, I like. What does the chat have to say? They're a spicy bunch tonight. You chatters, you.
Yes, Jonathan Brown. I was joking that costume looks god awful. So that's why I started laughing. That's why I looked at the camera deadpan for a second, and then I lost it because there's no way I can actually be.
The only defense I'll have for the Captain Marvel costume is maybe that was the male Captain Marvel costume that she was just wearing to get out of some danger, and she's yet to get her uniform on, which could be the case because we have Jude Law playing Marvel in the movie, and we're gonna get scrolls. I mean, there's some really cool things that I'm excited about the movie. I don't know if Marvel can do just your regular old origin story anymore. Even like Black Panther might be the last one to get away with that. And it was done well. It was a good movie. But like Englentine said, it was more the cast of characters than the actual Black Panther itself.
I'm fine with them not doing backstories or origin stories. Excuse me,
too.
Not backstories. Just make a movie with the character. You can kind of fill it in with like a flashback or a comment or something, but I don't think we need to have origin story movies anymore.
Quite honestly, I was kind of hoping, I was just thinking about this. Maybe they should do Captain Marvel kind of like Flash Gordon, like the old 80s Flash Gordon movie. And it might actually work out that way. But
yeah, if there's a Queen soundtrack, I'm in. Like,
instead of Flash, it's Cap. She'll save every one of us. You know, there we go.
She'll save the Avengers. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong about the whole like she'll get the kill shot. She's gonna be like Englentine said. I think she's gonna be very instrumental. And damn, her movie better be really fucking good. And just to shut everybody up, it's not a female. If I'm saying there's better female characters in Marvel. Now, unfortunately, they don't own the rights to most of them. Okay, so that sucks because Storm's a better character. Jean Grey's a better character. There's a million better characters. Elektra's a better character.
Hell, we've been talking about this for a while. Black Widow, if they had just done the Black Widow movie.
I was about to say that too. I think Black Widow for sure, hands down, deserves her own movie.
Yeah, they're finally doing it. They
They
finally
are? Okay.
hired. Yeah, they finally hired some writers and directors. They've got 3 directors in the running right now. So, but they already have the writers on it, and it's supposed to go back to the '80s to how she, became who she is.
Yep. And Maranya, you're right. Her costume looks better than Starfire's did in Teen Titans. That's a pretty serious grading curve, though. I mean, that's
Well, now let's be honest. If Captain Marvel was on the New York streets trying to pick up a John, she may be wearing a similar costume. We're seeing 2 different parts of the script. That's all.
that's a bold move for a crossover.
The Teen Titans have to make a living doing something. They sell themselves. That was
legalize it.
There you go.
As far as other female characters I'd like to see on the big screen, I would love to see a She-Hulk movie.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So, a question for everyone here. It's been a burning question in my mind. If a Raven has sex with Beast Boy, is that considered bestiality?
Only if he's shapeshifted.
Okay.
Well, it depends.
That could actually screw with her because he could start out as a guy and just go, you're screwing a dog now.
That's gross.
Oh, that's a
Wow.
You guys did not see. You didn't see Legion last week. Something not with animals, but something very similar happens in Legion. It is messed up. Watch that show. It's great.
Now I want to see that.
It's dark. It is really, really dark. Anybody out there watching Legion? So there's a character who can, it's kind of roguish. Her name is Syd Barrett. She's named after the lead singer Pink Floyd. And when she touches you, she becomes you. The problem is when she flips back to her body. So if she say she touched me, I'm in her body, she's in mine. But when we flip back, my body goes to where she was the last time.
Oh,
okay. So say she's a young teenage girl who wants to have sex for the first time, but she can never, ever touch anybody, but her mom is asleep on the couch and her mom's boyfriend's in the shower. And I'll let you extrapolate from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens in that episode. It is one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in television and entertaining. We can go back to Black Widow now. We can talk about that.
Sophia Campos, Nebula is still alive. I hope and I just lost it. So I was lost in the chat. I hope she's the one who defeats Thanos. There we go.
It's you know what? Marvel was big on doing that. God, who won the Contest of Champions? It was a freaking nobody. I know Daredevil was a finalist in the original Contest of Champions. It wasn't like Thor. You know what I mean?
Squirrel Girl or something.
Okay, well, they'd like to do the Squirrel Girl thing now, but before it would be like Daredevil was a finalist in the contest. I could see Black Widow getting a kill shot. That'd be cool. They were talking earlier about the blonde hair of Black Widow. And that
slightly bothered me a little bit.
Not even a little.
Really?
I do like the fact
everybody was on the run. So Captain America had dark hair, blonde.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
I do like the fact that they did torture, Thanos did torture Nebula, kind of like they did. Yeah, like that.
God, that was brutal too.
That was so brutal. Oh my god.
Well, also what he did to Drax and to Mantis, when he just kind of puts them into pieces.
Yes.
And just leaves them there while they're still alive. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty
sadistic.
Next question, Susan.
Okay, you guys are keeping me busy over here.
Sorry, we're everywhere, aren't we?
No, that's okay. So, what based on everything that we've been talking about and stuff, how do you predict the box office is going to be for 2? Because this one's killing it already. I've seen the reports. It's basically taking over the world. What do you think is going to happen in terms of part 2 of this? Think it's going to be just as successful, or is it going to be the sophomore curse?
I hope if they keep the momentum up, I'm hoping it will actually top it. And if they don't screw the movie up, I think it will.
I think that you're going to get enough people that this is like an orgasm for some people. They saw the movies, it comes up, it's done. And I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed with this film just based on the fact that there's always the contrarians. There's always somebody who is going to throw the backlash at it. And so I think the next one, of course, it's going to be huge, but I don't think it's going to be as successful.
Yeah, I think this one, the casual fans, it really kind of threw them for a loop. I'm fairly sure they weren't expecting something as dark from a Marvel movie. Because I mean, let's face it, we have quite a few deaths, torture, deaths, and the bad guy wins at the end. I mean, it's not. He wins big time too, and goes off. Yeah, and he gets to go and retire, like he said he was going to do. I'm gonna go and
what's
take
interesting though is these type of tentpole popcorn movies are all about escapism. People want to escape, they want to get away from their lives, but yet with this one, they don't get that. They don't get that release. The bad guy wins. There's darkness. There's torture.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like this is something different for, well, it isn't, but yet it is. For this type of movie, it's different because the premise is superheroes are supposed to win all the time. Unless you're the Dark Knight and we're brooding, we have issues.
And we lost our girlfriend.
But for the most part, it's like that's what superheroes are for. They're to take us away from everything. Somebody's got to make the world a better place. And if they can't, and if we don't get escapism, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, because this is definitely a dark movie.
Mm-hmm. I say yes to no. It has to have stakes. Without any kind of weight, then the movie is just fluff. And it's the same thing with the comic book series. I actually like seeing the hero struggle to overcome and succeed in the end. And you're getting that with this movie. And it's just like Empire Strikes Back. I mean, that movie also ended on a down note. It was a phenomenal movie. But that's the whole point. When you're a superhero, you get beat up. But in the end, you pick yourself up. You dust yourself off. You come up with a better plan to try and overcome the villain. You can't just go and one punch the villain and that's it. There's no tension. There's no value to it. There's no entertainment to it. I agree that we do go to see, I read comics for escapism. I go to movies for escapism. And if you don't have any kind of weight, though, it's kind of meaningless art at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. And I want to touch back on what you said about Empire to Jedi. Empire to Jedi had, 4 years in between? This is only going to have 1 year. And so I think that it is going to hurt it, Avengers 4 when it does come out, for that simple fact that we're not going to have that time to digest it a bit more. I should say the casual fan to digest it. Those of us that are into this, that we know what's coming, we're already buying our tickets for the next one. We already know this. Those the casual fan that weren't expecting this kind of darkness, they may go, you know what? I can wait till it comes out on DVD, or I'll watch it on, cable or something like that. And I can see Avengers 4 sales dropping.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dennis. On this episode, on this movie, I think the repeat. I think Enigmatic said this too, and comics. The repeat viewing is going to go way down on this. And again, I'm going to equate it to Deathly Hallows 1. If you're a Harry Potter fan, had a massive first weekend and just one of the largest drop-offs in blockbuster history. I think it was 67%. It still made mad money, almost $1 billion worldwide, but most of it was made that first weekend because it ends on a downer. But this one had to, and even Empire Strikes Back, it was one of the least grossing Star Wars movie. Even I think,
but it was also the best one,
and it's also the best one.
Yeah,
agreed.
Exactly.
And it's getting a lot of criticisms it got a lot of criticisms that are very similar to what this movie is getting. I'm not saying they're not the same movie. Everybody wants to say they're Empire. I'm not fucking saying that. Okay, I was there.
Right.
All right. And yeah, and this is, but I think this will make the victory, and I bet you it's going to be bittersweet. I don't think this is going to be a clean victory at all. I think we're going to lose.
I
some
don't think so
people.
either. It's
have
going to
to
be
wait.
bittersweet.
Which will cement its legacy. So yeah, to answer the question, I don't think this is going to make more than Black Panther did. I don't think either movie is, but I think in the long run, it'll benefit from it because it'll cement the legacy of the Marvel universe. Because it means more than just this movie. If they end this thing shitty, it fucks their entire series of movies up. Completely.
I agree completely.
Yeah, this is the payoff to 10 years of setup, is what these two movies are. So you're having, all this sacrifice, all these problems that they've gone through, that these heroes have gone through, and pretty much they got their asses just handed to. I mean, they fought back, a lot, but they got their asses handed to them in a big way. And a lot of people just don't want to see that. That's the whole thing. They want to see, like you said, the hero coming out on top at the end, and the villain, either getting killed or slinking off into the darkness. And that just didn't happen with this. And yeah, it is, like I said, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt repeat viewings. I'm going to go see it again tomorrow myself. I know Feisty's got tickets already because I saw that. And so we're all going to
take my wife, so I'm singing again.
Yeah,
I saw it twice already.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, I saw it last night and this afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it again tomorrow too. So maybe we're just full of shit.
But the one thing I can't believe is that you are so old that you saw Empire Strikes Back in the theaters.
I saw the theaters too.
Wow, you are.
I saw all three. I saw all three.
Ancient people here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say I saw the original Star Wars in the Coronet Theater in San Francisco, George Lucas's preferred theater.
Yep.
That's no longer there.
No, it's
I
there.
Just
I'm so young now. I'm like, dang, I suck. I'm a
older.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm older than all y'all.
No.
Just
Yes, you are, Gary.
by a year.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't act older in it though. Jonathan Brown says, I saw it on VHS.
That doesn't count.
I have
count, man.
a release trilogy on my mantle. I should take a picture of my mantle and show you guys sometime. It's pretty fucking amazing.
I want to see pictures of your mantle. Just kidding. That sounded really bad, didn't it?
It did sound bad. That's why I wasn't going to say it.
Whoa.
Good thing my wife doesn't listen to my podcast.
Only because we're guys and we can turn anything sexual. It's
But so can we.
Silver
True.
Spike, you are young.
Dude,
and
okay, hold on. Let us settle something. Look, I understand. I understand. Women think about sex too. Women think I get that. But there's a difference between the way guys think about sex and women think about sex. It's the difference between shooting a gun and throwing a bullet. That is the difference between the way guys and girls think.
Shooting a musket and a sniper rifle. I think more like that.
There
I'll let you
I
have
no
that.
idea.
I'm
I'm out of
not going
analogies
any
on that one.
euphemisms, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Susan, next question.
Oh, I'm still stuck on muskets.
Hey, I shot a musket one time and it knocked me over. It was fucking insane.
Got a kick.
Yeah.
Well, even with villains, they have to somewhat be relatable.
Mhm.
I mean, for example, and this isn't a superhero movie, when you watch Silence of the Lambs, you get compelled by Hannibal Lecter. You know he's bad, but nonetheless you want to see more of him. You want to get to know that character. So Thanos, he spared lives. Do you feel in some way he could be as compelling a character? Is he somewhat relatable in that aspect?
That's a great question. I think he is. Like, I get his I mean, the fact that you actually get to see a motivation and a backstory with a character such as like momentous as Thanos, like he's the big bad. I mean, I definitely had empathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Susan, I just want to say, Viking Bitch says she wants to hear you talk about porn again.
I was about to mention that. That's funny.
I just had to say that before I threw out my quote. I started laughing when I saw it. As we've said plenty of times, you're only as good as your villain. And again, like I said, it was actually brilliant making him a conservationist, making Thanos a conservationist.
Yeah.
To the point where he's just saying, you know what? If you leave him unchecked, you're going to kill off your civilization. There's going to be nobody left. So by killing off half of the population in the universe, I'm actually saving everybody in the universe.
They made him Galactus.
Yeah,
and did it well. And this is Thanos's, motivation too. It's also Thanos. I say Thanos. I know it's Thanos. Whatever. I'm kind of with Eglantine. I've been saying Thanos since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
I know it's wrong, but I'm sticking with it.
Potato.
I think
tomato,
they made him into,
tomato.
I think they made him into an environmentalist SJW, and I am not surprised if no other social justice warrior sees that they are the villain. They really did. I mean, I
don't know about that one.
Oh, okay. You think people will see themselves as the villain?
Nobody ever does.
Because overpopulation.
The villain never sees himself as the villain.
One, I think SJW is a stupid term, so I'm just going to say that right now. And two, I don't think they made him that to begin with. So, yeah. So that's all it was.
Okay.
They made him into. I thought it was just kind of there's an old Calvin and Hobbes comic strip that's out there that kind of deals with this exact same thing. That's never been printed again. I actually have a copy of it from when it came out in the paper, and it's about some guy in an office grabbing some coffee, and he gets shot in the office and goes down. Of course, it's the reason why this no longer is there. And you see these deers come in with rifles, and everyone's running for the doors. They're like, run. And you see Calvin up in front of the class going, everyone knew that Frank, they understood that Frank couldn't come home that night, but the human population had doubled to over 7 billion in just a year and needed to be thinned. The herd needed to be thinned for the good of the world. And you see his mom and dad going, it's your turn to go to parent teacher conference. That it's been around for a long time. So
they softened him up.
Yeah, they softened him up. That's all it was.
And there are people out there who are going to have a huge problem with that. It worked for me. Again, with this movie, we'll see how time deals with it, because we can all be prisoners of the moment and see things and get all caught up in the fucking awesomeness of just seeing Iron Man standing next to Doctor Strange and Thanos. Fuck the team up of Winter Soldier or the White Wolf and Rocket, just for a second, was like, that was awesome. That was great. And then the Nebula thing you were talking about, like Nebula is one of my favorite characters, and the way they were torturing her was fucking crazy and dark. And but I thought that was, this is going to sound bad, I thought that was good that they put that in there, though. They've been so afraid to put shit like that in movies lately and to actually give it stakes. But, we'll see how time is
very safe.
Yeah, this movie did stay safe in a lot of ways. It did. But it took a couple of risks. I think they're going to go back on most of them, if not all, unfortunately. But we'll see.
I don't know, man. The Russo brothers, I think, are pretty good.
They are.
They'll keep it on track.
And I hope I didn't offend anybody, about that. I just wanted to, say that.
I'm so triggered, Dennis. Oh my God.
I'm very offended.
Yeah.
Also, there's one thing I kind of realized after the fact. Does anyone else think that Thanos was actually the main character of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Thanos story.
Yeah. It was. I definitely think he was the main character.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I do agree to answer your question. Two, it just popped in my head. How freaking cool was it that you didn't have to see anything but outer space and hear Rubber Band Man to know who they were cutting to?
Yep.
And as soon as I heard this 70s boom, 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 I was like, Guardians. That was just such a perfect intro to those characters.
It was, and it's like the only song they really used. That was one of the weirdest things at the end credits. There's always like 18 or 19 songs they give credit to, and that was that and the Black Panther theme or something like that.
Yeah, it was just 2 songs. That was it.
There was only one. I don't know. There was only one. I loved every second of the Guardians except the Drax standing still humor like thing. It was just
Actually
went on.
made me laugh.
It went on a
I,
little too long. I don't know. That was me. But
See, that's where the geek and the critic come in, because it was a funny segment, but it was so out of place.
it was, and then maybe that was it.
So
that was the reason why.
Because it was Drax. Like that's what Drax would do because he's Drax.
Yeah, the way they've been portraying his character, that was very much in his character. I do think it did drag on a little bit, but I thought it was pretty damn funny.
Well, especially when Mantis comes in, she's like, "Hey, Drax." He's like, "Oh, shit."
Hi, Drax.
What did Mantis say? I like taking name or no, kicking names and taking ass.
Names and taking asses.
I know, I just fucked that one up. Somebody sent me the most interesting article about Drax that I think might be a stretch, but I might hit this on a later video. Everybody knows I have a son on the spectrum, and they talked about where'd it go that Drax is the first portrayal of a autistic person in film.
I don't know about that. I just think it's because his character doesn't get the joke.
Yeah, he's just literal. I know. I haven't read the full article. I thought it was a troll job, but it's actually a serious article that somebody sent me and asked me what I thought. I'm like, I don't know.
I've read that article. It came out when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and it was because someone's autistic kid really latched onto him and identified with him as being the same as him in a way, and that's the reason why they're talking about. Yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah.
God,
Logan likes Gamora.
Langley M. Neely. I love that Gamora is now a dancer and admits loving Peter. When she said, oh my God, I lost my shit. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I cried more than I'd like to admit.
Well, when Rubber Band Man is playing and she's in the cockpit, like, singing along with it too, but not, voicing anything. She's just, lip syncing. And I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. She,
No, that was totally cool. And it hit me equally as hard. Her death and Peter's reaction to it when he finds out.
Dude,
Robert Downey's like trying to
about it.
Yeah,
that was insane. That's the kind of shit I like in movies. That gives it weight, and
because he's so fucked up so badly. But yes, I mean, you saw it coming. It had to happen, but it was such a great scene.
And you know what? Tony went through the same fucking thing in Civil War when with the Winter Soldier. Like he saw the video, he knows he's not that. It's not the same guy, but it doesn't matter. You killed my mom. Fuck you. So, I thought that was. Now that I thought about that, it's pretty cool. A little full circle action there. But who was the guy who played the Red Skull? It wasn't
the guy that plays Aaron on Walking Dead.
Oh, really? Okay, him.
He does. There's a video floating on YouTube of his impressions. He's a really good impressionist.
Huh.
Damn, it was. I thought that was Hugo Weaving.
Ross Marquand?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, Ross Marquand. Thank you, Luke Lucas as well. We have a lot of people in our chat that do fact checking for us because, of course, we
they need to. It's us. I get my kids' names mixed up, and they're like 10 years apart. So don't feel bad.
And I get your name mixed up too, Andy. I mean Gary.
What was that? Dick? I mean Dennis.
I feel the love.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's even the worst of it.
Love for this shithead. No, Dennis is great. He's just got horrible taste, but he's a good friend.
Yeah, speaking of,
yeah, whatever.
All right, Susan.
Do you guys think that Idris Elba will be back? Because there's some talk that he may come back.
No. He lost the Bifrost power, so why would he? There's no reason.
Yeah. Now that Thor has it with the the axe, they don't need to bring him back.
Well, when Thor actually, resurrects Asgard, which I'm hoping they do the J. Michael Straczynski run, which was awesome as a movie, I think he might come back.
He might. That was a good death, though. I'd almost hate to see him come back. I mean, his last move was to get the Hulk to Earth and send the message. I thought that whole thing was fucking cool. I'd hate, Idris Elba. There's an actor he's a great fucking actor who's been in a ton of fucking comic book movies, by the way, and needs to be a leading guy. He just hasn't found the right thing yet. The best thing he was in was The Losers. So The Losers is a fucking great movie. If nobody's out there seen it, I think it's one of the best modern DC movies. Period.
Oh, come on, you don't think he was great in Ghost Rider 2?
I actually do think he was great in Ghost Rider 2. Thank you very much.
I think he's kind of great
of
in
bad
everything
taste.
he does, but just because he's great doesn't necessarily mean the movie's great.
No, I know it's a piece of shit, and I love it because it's Ghost Rider. I like everything Ghost Rider. So, and Korg. What happened to Valkyrie? That's a good question. I didn't even think about that. What happened to Valkyrie?
She might be back.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of don't care.
Another girl crush of mine.
She's on Westworld getting chased right now.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna find out that her and Korg, that was his name, Korg.
Yeah.
Yes.
And me.
They went somewhere to do something right before Thanos' ship showed up. We're gonna find that out, I think.
Probably.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think they killed them off.
Yep.
No, God, no. Did anybody miss Ant-Man and Hawkeye?
Yes.
Yeah. They mentioned Ant-Man.
I don't know if there was necessarily room for them in the movie.
No, not this one.
Yeah, not this one. The next one, there most likely will be there.
Yeah, well, at least Hawkeye. Ant-Man, I have a feeling we're going to see Ant-Man, maybe even the Wasp, disappear right at the end, and we're going to have Michelle Pfeiffer's character in Avengers #2. The reason being,
they already said she was on set.
But she would constitute an older character while they are the new guard. So I don't think that we're going to see Evangeline Lilly or whatever her name is and Paul Rudd. I don't think we're going to see those two. That's once again just a theory, but it's a film. I'm sorry.
And I'll be honest with you. I was fine with them not being in the movie.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, I felt was always kind of the weakest in the Avengers movies.
Well, he was there to provide quips, and they already had Peter Parker, so they didn't need.
Yeah, that's true.
And they also they did so well with so many characters, and Hawkeye's the one they drew the line at. It's like, nope, can't do the costume. It's like, honestly, that's why most of us like him. That's how we first. He has a cool costume. They didn't have to make it purple, but he has a cool costume, and they drew the line at him, which always boggled my mind. Jeremy Renner's a good actor, but that's not Hawkeye. It's not.
I thought they gave him characterization in Age of Ultron. I thought that whole deal was fine. I like it then.
That was
I have a question.
Interesting. It was an interesting take. Hey, I like it when they show. Hey, he's a good father. Okay, so I'll give him that. They don't show very many good fathers in film or television, so just to get one is nice. It's nice to see.
Good call.
Feisty, you have a question?
Yeah. So okay, what was your favorite fight scene? Because there were tons of it. So let's hear about some action. Chicka bow wow.
Mine was
that's what my favorite. Go there, and I was like, no, there's too many.
My favorite was the fight between Iron Man and Thanos where Tony gets stabbed. I thought that was a pretty epic fight scene.
The fact that Peter got to jump and be like magic kick, magic punch.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was epic.
Star-Lord chiming in. That was my idea.
Yeah. But just like the whole thing with Tony's armor being blown off, you just know that this is a losing battle, but he's giving it his all. It was such a great fight.
Dude, yeah, when he was at the end when he was fighting and it was trying to reassemble itself around him and it just like it was doing it less and
There
less.
wasn't enough of it left.
Oh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But that was also all the superheroes working in concert together, like Doctor Strange throwing out the little things for Star-Lord to step on and he flips them off before he goes through the portal.
Yeah.
That was the best fight scene. That was by far because that's how you imagine it in the comics. Them fighting. It reminded me a lot, even though it's not the same characters, in Marvel Team Up 100 by John Byrne. It's Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and wasn't John Byrne? It's Frank Miller. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, it was Frank Miller.
Yeah. And
First
there's a
appearance with
2-page. Yes, there's a 2-page spread of Spider-Man bouncing in between like the Fantastic Four fighting. The reason I remember that is I own the original art for it, and it's one of the best 2-page spreads I've ever seen. It just reminded me of that, of Spider-Man just bouncing around Mr. Fantastic and the Thing and stuff. It was fucking awesome. I love that scene. Yeah, god damn it.
Yeah, that was my
Probably
favorite fight scene as
the
well.
best. Yeah, I guess can't. I brought up and I still enjoyed the Black Widow fight just because I was so excited to see her finally fight and prove her worth. The one in the subway, I really enjoyed that. One thing I didn't like as far as fights are concerned, those dogs are going to run to you. Don't waste your energy running halfway across Wakanda to meet them. That bothered me. I'm like, okay, they're coming. Just hang out. Conserve your energy. Put up those shields. That was bad. That was bad leadership right there. I would have told everybody, put the shields up. We're gonna have these weapons. I don't know. That was a nitpick, but
I did kind of like that whole thing where Scarlet Witch was up there. She's watching what's going on with Vision during the fight, and she finally comes out and like takes out those threshers. She holds them up in the air and then just mows out a whole bunch of those dogs. Denai Garrick's character says, "Where was she during all this fight? Was she just up there this entire time?"
That was funny.
No, there's a couple times in this movie where they speak to what the crowd would say, which is great. You're anticipating. The only thing that's going to come up that everybody's going to bring up is the whole reality gem thing. That's going to be everybody's argument against the movie, blah, blah, blah. But I like that England team. That subway fight was fucking good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Now you think about it, that was badass. And just
we got to see the Avengers, and it's not exactly the 3 strongest Avengers come in and they work as a team to take down these 2 guys who just beat the shit out of 2 of the strongest Avengers. What we saw was the teamwork worked. And that's why I enjoyed it.
Oh, poor Vision. He got fucked up right in the beginning because he's folks who don't know out there, he's pretty damn powerful, and it sucks that he never got to fully kick any ass because he got pounded right in the beginning and never could get back to full health. I don't know. Do you think Vision's coming back?
Yes, he's in Wakanda.
Gotcha.
Just think about that. He's in Wakanda. And while she didn't remove the stone, she's still down. I think what were they doing? Trying to download some of him. So there is a part of the Vision in Wakanda computers, and we know that their technology is far and beyond. The Vision's going to show up, and he's going to vision the hell out of a whole bunch of stuff.
Gonna get all Vision on.
Yeah, Robo Brain 10,000 makes a good point. He goes, "Where were the rhinos?"
Yeah.
They were eaten.
Stop.
They opened up. Wakanda opened themselves up to the world, and there's now a glut of rhinos. So they sold the horns off for some erectile dysfunction stuff and ate the rest.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
Another thing, also, I have to say, my favorite line in the movie is where Black Panther goes, "Somebody get this man a shield." I thought that was. I know that was in the trailer, but God, I just love that line. That was awesome.
That was a very good line. You're right. You went to the bathroom in the middle of the movie, dude?
I had to, man. I had a beer, and it was just like, it was running right through me at that point, and I figured that was the perfect time to go.
So, what are your thoughts on everybody? Dennis going to the bathroom, sharing that on a live stream.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I thought I was gonna make it too, but I realized, oh shit, if I don't go now, I'm gonna go at an important time. And I went when Tony and her were talking about having a baby at the beginning. I was like, I picked the perfect time. Yeah, you'd never wait until the
I'm
middle of the movie.
sorry, but I hate Pepper Potts. I hate her character. I hate her. I love Gwyneth Paltrow. Hate Pepper Potts.
Okay,
Like,
you are the only person in the world who's ever said that.
really?
Mhm.
I love Gwyneth Paltrow, but I hate Pepper Potts. I don't know. I
Generally,
always hear
it's the other way
opposite.
around.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's okay, Feisty. We love you. I
Wow.
like Pepper. You don't like Pepper?
No, she's complaining and she's like awful. She's like keeping Tony from doing what she loves. Like, fuck you, dude.
It's because she loves it. That's the whole point. She doesn't
I
want
know,
to see
but
her
it's
hurt.
like you kind of gotta understand. Like, you kind of gotta go in. Like, it's like my husband. He knew I was a fucking nerd who was like, and he was like, okay, cool. Like, you gotta embrace the fact that you have the super genius who wants to like help the world, make things better. Like, go fuck yourself. Sorry.
Okay, I know. I like the reason you don't like it though. I think that's like the mom in Lost in Space.
It's a very human thing.
yes.
That's and there's a lot of humanity in this movie.
Langley Neely says all that baby and wedding talk made me think either Pepper or Tony was dead. Yeah, as soon as somebody goes, "I love you," that's usually like you're dead.
Oh yeah, I'm a leaf on the wind.
Yeah.
Giant snake goes through your chest.
We got plans after this, baby.
Yep. Dead meat from what was it? Hot Shots.
Oh, Hot Shots, yeah. Oh, I figured out who killed JFK. It's right here in my shirt pocket. I'll be safe so long as I keep a picture of my girl right here on my dash. Yeah.
I really
3
enjoyed
days
the
to
fact
retirement.
that adolescent group was playing like Defender the whole time. That was pretty awesome.
I thought was kind of funny. He became more like a set piece than anything else.
Yeah, he
finally
didn't do
fought-
anything. He didn't do anything until towards the end, where
Yep.
he gives the yeah. It's like
Well,
he finally.
typical teenager. Come on.
Mhm.
Yeah, that joke
Yeah.
got old. I miss. You know what? I miss old Vin Diesel Groot.
Me
I do.
too.
I agree with you. It did kind of get old after a while. Like the first like few scenes, it was funny, and then it's just like, all right.
I still liked, I don't know, I still laughed at the whole thing with "I am Groot." Whoa, language. It still made me laugh, even though I saw it in all the trailers.
Okay, yeah. Did you know? Like the whole Hulk out where the dog alligator 4-armed things or whatever the hell they were at the end when they attacked Hulk and he hulks out. That didn't happen. There was a bunch of stuff. Are they starting to do that on purpose now? I mean, I know
think so.
Yeah.
It's got to be on
Which
purpose.
trailer fake outs. Like there's a bunch of stuff in the trailer that's not in the movie at all.
Oh, okay.
See, I only watched the trailer once, and then I forgot. So yeah, like I said, that's what I try to do with a lot of movies, just to remove any expectations.
Well,
And
I didn't have high hopes, so I didn't watch the trailer multiple times. So I just went in. I want to say blind. I mean, I saw the trailer. I just went in.
You know,
in the
actually,
original trailer, they had the Hulk running down the Wakanda field along with Iron Man flying by or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm.
was
I
War
think
Machine.
so.
War
Yeah.
Machine.
Oh, yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, they're hiding some.
it was creative editing, actually. And now I think about it, because they had the dog thing, and then they cut to him inside the armor where he's half hulked out. Like when he was talking to Hulk to come out, and when Hulk did do the half Hulk, going, no, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" So they actually did creative editing on that for the trailer.
Cool.
I just realized. Yeah, I was just thinking back on it. Interesting.
Yeah. That whole Hulk thing, it could have been annoying, but it was done pretty well, I guess. I don't know how crazy I am about Hulk being the comic relief.
Yeah, that was the thing that bothered me too about the Thor movies, that they kind of made him come off as like a baby.
Yeah.
And I kind of got the same thing with the whole thing where he's like, no, it's like they're doing the baby Hulk again, and that really irritated me with Ragnarok.
Yeah. And when Thanos hurt him, like in the beginning, like when he chopped him, like did little
In the throat. Yeah.
And he's all, I don't know. Hey, Susan, you got any more questions?
Well, I do have one more.
Good.
And this sounds like a joke, but actually it's not, because a lot of critics were saying this about the movie. And with a film that's the scope of this one, and Dana Gould actually made a joke before it came out. He's like, I'm worried that there may not be enough going on in the Avengers movie. Do you feel that the story was too epic? Because the complaints that I've read thus far are it was too big and there was way too much CGI in it.
Shut the fuck up, critic.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't just
Well
one
played, sir.
Let me just say it wasn't me.
No, no.
It's a lot of critics that have been saying that there's too much of a story and that there's too much CGI involved.
And I would never say that to you, Susan. And if I did, smack me. Okay, that is very inappropriate.
I could tell
I
them-
adore Susan.
Yeah.
Listen, what the fuck do they want? I mean, like, there's
Yeah.
always going to be one out there, and that's their job. Like, I'm not a critic, so I am free to, I'm a fan man. Okay, I
Well,
own my
with that
basement.
was- with the CGI thing, I was thinking to myself, what did you want? Practical effects? How are you going to
Yeah.
get practical effects on a movie of this scope? I mean, you can't just practical effect everything, but you can make CGI look more believable. But I think they
Yes.
were just peeved at too much of it or something like that.
I do think a lot of modern movies do suffer from way too much CG at times, and that was my initial complaint with this movie going in, is that there's times where it's like you're trying too hard, but it actually worked out in its favor for this movie. Like if you go back and look at Avatar was heavily CG, and that really got old really fast. I think if you blend it properly, it's not that much of a big deal. And with some minor things, mainly with characters that were CG'd, it was more noticeable. But with the set pieces, for the most part, I think we're fine. As
there
far as
was
having too much story, that's a weird comment to make.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have to say to those kind of critics is, there's plenty of CSI episodes that are available on CBS that they can go and look at and go and pay for on CBS Access.
Star Trek Discovery. I can highly
Star Trek
recommend
Discovery
Star Trek
as well.
Um,
So if they really don't want any kind of action or plot or anything like that, there's plenty of options for them out there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What's wrong with having a story? That's the thing that drives me crazy with a lot of stuff, is having a good plot is key to any kind of good storytelling. And I think they did a pretty good job.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's surprising that they managed to put the worst and some of the best CGI I've ever seen in the same movie.
yeah, And
It's
that's
the
all
multiple
defensive.
houses.
It's the multiple houses. Yeah, that when Banner is standing in the Hulk armor or the Hulkbuster.
Oh
that
yeah,
was pretty
the
bad.
end.
Yeah.
It really looked like he was green screened into that. It was so bad. Yeah.
They're on a time budget, but that's listen, the critics. This is a deeper story that Dennis and I have been talking about since we started this podcast. It's almost what this podcast is about, is the transition from of better storytelling going from movies to television. Movies are now a thrill ride. And I think a lot of movie critics are pissed about that. A lot of other filmmakers are pissed about that. That's why you see the Marvel movies get so much shit, because it's the reality they're facing. Like, these are an amusement park ride now. That's what movies are. If you want really good, intricate characterization and storytelling, it's on television now. It is. I mean, you got Counterpart, fucking Legion, Mr.
Until it gets
Robot.
canceled.
Yeah, until it gets canceled, and Westworld, stuff like that. I mean, like, movies cannot touch that storytelling anymore. Expanse, Legion might be the this side of Daredevil on Netflix, like the best superhero TV show like ever done. Like, with a
I agree completely.
And also probably the most comic book show out there.
Yeah, it's insanely good. But yeah, what critics like too much story, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. But
That is really weird. I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
This story, it's too good. It needs to suck a little more.
There's too many words in your sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, that might actually apply sometimes, but you know what I mean.
I think what they were talking about was there were not that it was too much dialogue, but that there were too many characters and they weren't able to do all of them justice.
That was my initial complaint, and I think they actually balanced it pretty well.
I think everyone I think got their own time to shine. They got their own screen time. They got their own plot, and I think it was executed well because I was expecting a shit show.
I was too. That was one of my major concerns was, okay, you have all these characters. How are they going to juggle all of them? And they did the best job they could. And, and they pulled it off, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also it wasn't about, as Christian Stileski says here in the chat, it was a Thanos story.
Yep.
So they were all the supporting characters is all they were.
Exactly.
So it wasn't about them. They were. We already know these characters. We already know all the supporting characters in here. This was more about letting us know about Thanos. So, yeah, and that's where these critics just kind of get these things wrong, and they might just have to go back to journalism school and kind of learn what actual story is.
I find that a common criticism amongst journalists in general these days.
Yeah.
We'll use that word loosely.
Journalism is dead.
Yeah. It's like, except for 1428elm.com with Susan Leighton, which is the greatest journalism there is. But yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of people out there calling themselves journalists who are just bloggers. I mean, and there's a difference, and no offense to bloggers, because I'm on YouTube spouting my fucking opinion, and I wouldn't even consider myself a YouTuber. Not till I get to, like, I don't know, Englenteen's level of subscribers, but Englenteen's a YouTuber. Okay.
Well, no, you are. You've got 1,000 subscribers. You've got 53 watching right now. Obviously, you're making at least your live chats every night. You're a YouTuber, dude.
You're almost to 2,000, so I definitely say you're a YouTuber. Where I'm just a jackass with a microphone.
We all are a jackass.
We all are, really.
With a microphone too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I dropped my microphone. I had to buy another one.
I do have to admit it's hard to think because you've watched YouTube for so long. You see them and you go, "Oh yeah, well one day I would like to do that." And when somebody turns around and says something that makes you think, well, to them, you are that, that's really weird to think about.
Yeah, it gets a little surreal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for you, dude,
I'm sorry.
Hearing I have fans is kind of weird.
It's weird.
Sorry, it's weird.
Langley Neely says Thanos made Steppenwolf look like the dancing Ally McBeal baby.
Yes, he did.
I have not seen Justice League, so I have no opinion.
You didn't miss much, really.
That is disgracing the Ally McBeal baby a little bit.
I've watched that movie on multiple occasions, and I thought, this movie gets better and better. And then I realized, no, it really doesn't. What happens is there are really good scenes in search of a movie in Justice League.
Agreed.
And that's the problem. I could talk to you about, the scenes I like, but when it comes down to the movie, I got to admit, same thing everybody else knows. It's weak.
Langley, I'm going to say the dancing Ally McBeal baby actually had hours more backstory than Steppenwolf did.
It did.
That's all I'm going to say.
When the guy who voiced Steppenwolf, right after he was done his job, this is before the press of the movie called the movie shit. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad. Mm-hmm. He said, straight up said, I just took a paycheck. They didn't even do mocap with usually they do mocap with the voice actor. They didn't do it. They just had him come in for a day and send him on his way. And it's the guy who was, I can't think of his name right now. It was
he's such a good actor too.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Not the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Game of Thrones, the leader of the
White Walker.
No, the people that live there. I forgot what they call them. Yeah, the ones from the north, beyond the wall. He's the one that they started to burn at the stake, and then incest guy shot him with the arrow. I can't think of names right now. I'm good.
Dude, I'm so Mance Raider, for Christ's sake. I know this Mance shit. Raider, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
Early onset Alzheimer's is fucking happening at 48. This sucks.
Yeah.
Because I've only read that book about, I don't know, 6 times.
It was happening much sooner. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, drugs.
Never read it.
Drugs, kids, don't do them. You haven't
The
read? Yeah,
wildlings.
well,
Thank
you
you.
read a lot of comics. Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Well, you're
That's why I
close.
don't write them, because I would be one of those people who just read comics and go to writing. No, I read books. It's just that I haven't read that one.
There you go. It's cool.
I haven't read the Lord of the Rings either. I can't get past that Bombardier guy. It's so fucking slow. It's a-
I cannot
Yeah.
defend that at all. I've read the books. It was arduous though. It was arduous.
I read it up to that point and I go, and I'm gonna watch the movie.
Yeah. It's like I love
Yeah,
Lovecraft, but
I agree.
that guy can really drag some shit out.
Yeah, I can't get through Dune. I know I'm gonna get killed for that one, but I just
Bad
can't.
I'm the same
Bad
way.
Robot. Would that be the movie or the book Watchmen that you stand behind forever? Because Bad Robot says, for the record, I will stand behind Watchmen forever. I'm
I
taking
enjoyed
you
the
mean the
movie.
movie.
I love the movie.
I love the movie too.
So did I.
Fucking love the 4-hour version of the movie. Bring it on. I will defend that.
I have that too. I have that also. That
Yes.
big fat. Yeah.
He says both, or they say both.
Well said. It's right. Yeah. Well, you can't see it. It's right next to my base. There you go. You can see it right there. There it is.
Another bass player. Look at all those Wolverines.
Yes, I told you. I argued against somebody I love dearly, Wolverines, and then there's a Catwoman right next to him.
Nice.
It's all my amigos. I have a live action figure audience, and they all come alive when I go to sleep, and they have parties. and
yeah.
adventures.
It's the
And
dangerous
one of
Toy
these days,
Story
they're
room.
going to murder you in your sleep.
They will.
Puppet Master style.
Sweet.
Susan?
That's how I want to go.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions for us that may have come up?
No. That's
we out of
pretty much all
questions?
that I had. No, not anymore.
No more questions. Well, then we could go around, like we could do our final words and then wrap things up. It's been 2 hours. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. And YouTube's been doing that weird 2-hour passive aggressive limiting live streams lately.
What?
Yeah, it happened to Comics Division. It's happening less and less. But if you go over 2 hours, it will say you go 2 hours and 15 minutes. It will take the first 15 minutes of your live stream out, and it'll say it's processing, and that first 15 minutes will show up 24 hours later. So
Oh, okay.
it'll do the last 2 hours and say it's processing. Which if you do like a 4-hour live stream is fucked up. If you do a 2 hour and 20-minute one, it's not so big.
It depends. If it's like the comic book Thunderdome, I like to talk for about 20 minutes before we get to it just to build an audience.
Which is smart. No, I need to do that more. By the way, I'll plug that. The Angling Team does this amazing thing. It's Saturday nights, right? It's
Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
yes, Comic Book Thunderdome, and it's like a geek debate. And he'll plug it again later, but
That's great.
Feisty Fan and I were part of it. Had a great time, and yeah, definitely check it out. Go to I Love Comics. Check it out.
Weaponized nerd rage versus unranked chevron.
Ooh.
Is that tomorrow?
That's tomorrow, and that will
Nice.
be round 12, and then next week we're starting the.
You have a judge?
I have Corrupt, and I guess I have a Feisty Fan now.
Yes.
There you go.
All righty.
Unranked. I dig you, dude, but good luck there, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got their first. I've got their first 3 answers, and I'm very much looking forward to them. You know, I've told you guys even when you guys answer the questions, the first 3 questions, I always get excited for the show because I want to hear how you guys are going to answer it. And yeah, I think I got some good. It's because I try to put the questions to whomever is arguing. They are comic book questions again, so we got that going on.
Cool.
I'm very much looking forward.
Yeah,
to it.
last week I was a little lost, but I watched it anyway because it's entertaining. That's all that really
Yeah,
counts.
it really is. I know. I'm listening to. I don't know what they're talking about when I do because I get questions from like Nerd Wonder fed me tons of topics for the manga people, and so that came from them. I didn't know what a kill lock kill was, but damn if it didn't sound interesting.
Yeah, right. I'm like, well said. I was completely lost as you are.
Yep.
All right, so everybody liked the movie, right? I mean, to varying degrees.
Relatively.
Yep, absolutely.
So quickly, let's rank it. Let's do the dorky ranking. Marvel. Where does this rank in the Marvel movie in the MCU for you? And we'll start with Comics division.
I think it's probably the best movie they've come out with so far. As far as like an actual like rating, like 1 out of 10, I would give it a solid 8.
Well done. Dennis.
Wow, it's a tough one. I'm still digesting that one, so it's in the top 5. I know that much. I just don't know where in the top 5. And yeah, I would give it a solid 8 as well.
Feisty fan.
I'm kind of like still. Well, it bumped Black Panther off my top 5, so it's the top 3. So my favorite, it's the 3, but it's for Iron Man 1, Ragnarok, and then Infinity War. But I give it like a 8.5 for sure. It was awesome. As far as like team movies go, that's the best.
Whoa, thank you, Logan McLeod. $5 has taken off. Good movie and good discussion. Gonna catch it again. I love parts of it, but I didn't love it.
Aw.
Okay. I
Thank
think
you.
he's talking about the movie, but
The
maybe
movie,
our
yeah, he's talking
discussion
about the
too. And that is totally applicable. He is a patron. He can love and hate what the hell he wants. And so can the subscribers too. And Susan, what'd you think of the movie? Just kidding. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Susan. It sucks that it seems like you just kind of got spoiled for you.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, because I go into everything with my own opinion anyway, so, spoilers don't really bother me as much as they do everybody else.
Actually, I have a question for you, Susan. So
Yes.
now, after having listened to all of this about, all of us talking about this, has this raised or lowered your expectations for this movie?
Actually, it's probably raised my expectations for it. Because it seems like it's the darker subject matter appeals to me. I like the idea behind, what they're trying to do with it. So, I would be more inclined to see this movie now after listening to everybody talking about it, because it seems like not only is it good for action and everything, but there's actual stories behind it and you care about the characters. And for me, that's everything. If you have characters that you get involved with, if you're compelled by, riveted to, then that's half the battle. So I would say the expectations are probably pretty high for me.
Nice.
Nice. England teen. What do you rank it?
Well, my goodness, I'm spoiling the video I'm gonna make. In all honesty, I would say that this is the best of the Marvel universe. I watched it one time for the visceral. I saw it. I sat there as a fan and I enjoyed it. Today, I was a little more critical. That's where I came up with a lot of the criticism. But the truth is none of the things I said was wrong with this movie killed the entertainment and the enjoyment. And if you've seen them all, it is just the perfect culmination.
Nice. And I will share your video in the description when you make it here, and I'll make sure to pump it heavily. And yeah, just put some clickbaity title like, just Infinity War sucks, or it's the worst movie ever, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the kind of thing that's going to get clicks and views now, is to piss on everything that people like and love. That always helps.
Yeah, just say Luke Skywalker sucks and Kathleen Kennedy likes Thanos or something like that, and that'll get some clicks nowadays. Or Rose
Kathleen
Tico.
Kennedy is Thanos' real daughter.
Yes, and Rose Tico.
Why Star Wars Last Jedi was better than Avengers Infinity War.
There, dude.
Dude, that's a massive clickbait.
That would be great. I want to see that one.
I can come up with that video.
Yes, you
Well, the
could.
thing that's going to be beautiful about it is that most of the comments you're going to get are from people who didn't watch the video, and they're just going to be totally shitting on just the title of the video.
Well, right off the top of my head, no black character was able to fight one of the major villains. So Star Wars Last Jedi automatically has more respect for black people. So yeah, you could do this video. Whether, of course, you're tongue in cheek about it, of course, I wouldn't be serious about it. But yeah, that could happen. Right there. Boom. Got one. Avengers, Marvel. Yep. Doesn't like black people. There you go.
Wow. The internet.
Clickbait.
It's funny.
Can do it.
Yes, you can do it. Oh, I can. Yeah. All right. So we're going to wrap it up there. And man, we had a bunch of people watching.
You like it?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What was
What about you? What about you?
Yeah, what about you?
Oh, you didn't hear what I
Gary
thought?
Gary hated it, man. He hated
Okay,
that
this movie
movie.
was a piece of crap. Last Jedi was so much better. Luke Skywalker
No Rose
treated
Tico.
so much better. Rose Tico is the best character ever made.
Once again, Marvel is racist. They put their Asian girl in little antennas and uglied her up, and well, no, that was ugly too. So never mind. We're gonna erase that one.
Yes.
I would
well,
actually-
hey, Disney's got a long storied history of that, but at least
Yep.
Walt does. Sorry, Walt Disney.
Yeah.
Fans, but, I will give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. I'm going to be right there with you guys, and I would put it number 3. Winter Soldier to me is still by far and away the best Marvel movie. The next one being Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I fucking love that movie to death. And then Infinity War. I'll put it right there. So Mantis
Guardians
isn't
didn't make
ugly.
my top 5.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would rather bang the Marvel alien and Asian chick than Rose Tico. So yeah, I agree.
We're gonna go down that road. Yeah.
Hey! Everybody else puts my freaking live streams into the gutter. I'm gonna steer one
No,
or two.
that's
of you
no.
guys
I'm
right
not
on in.
judging at all. I actually have a fetish for blue women, so I'm more of a Gamora or blue and green. So
Blue
that's
and
why I
green,
love to play
Gamora.
Wicked. Yeah,
Mhm.
Gamora.
We're plenty capable of doing these things into our own gutter.
Yeah.
Just ask.
The
He's done it plenty of times.
Thanos daughters are like a big. I can see why you like Guardians now. They've got
Yes.
the full female spectrum: purple, blue, green.
Hell yeah, a Nebula. Well, for one, Amy Pond. Come on.
Yeah.
That was a tall drink of water right there. That Karen Gillan. Yes. Hey, Johnny Pappas. How long has he been here? Have you been here the whole
just
time?
came in. No, he just came in about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you came at a good time, buddy. I said, wow. San Diego homeboy right there. So this was a lot of fun, everybody. I had a great time. This is the first time I've had group sex. I mean, a large live
Don't
stream.
lie.
Was as
please.
good for you as it was for me?
Yes, it
I got
was.
better.
Oh, well, but you ain't had worse, baby.
Oh, sorry. No, this was a lot of fun. I feel privileged to be invited.
Oh shit! I feel privileged that you guys are here. I mean, this like makes us kind of legit. So let's everybody real quick. Let me plug my patrons, and then everybody can plug their wares. And we have some wonderful patrons that not all of them are named here because I have Elon Musk has kept me from doing shit in my life right now. So I love you, Elon, but god damn, stop it. Dakota Stanton, Viking Bitch, Penn Farm Girl, Apple Crow, Jody, Shakuri Llama, Eric, Richard Seth Jones, Christianette Echo 9, Feisty Fan, hey, Lawrence Howe, stop with the super chats when you're on the super chat, Isaiah Norton, Fan Own Rough, Johnny Pappas, Brian Smart, Arturo Espinoza, Ed Brewer, and Logan McLeod, and another one joined up. So who the new person, your name will be up next podcast. We love you guys. We thank you for your patrons. You're going to get some new live content soon. And when you join up for our patron, you get stuff. For $1, well, you don't get shit, but you get our adoration. And then for $5, you get 3 Comic Outpost variant covers that were exclusive to my store, which all have my son on the cover, by the way. And then the $15 tier, you get a What's in the Box box. And it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head. It is toys and
Unfortunately, we
books.
couldn't get that. And
Yes. Well, maybe that might be funny. And yeah, so check us out at patreon.com/nerdrotic. All right, everybody. We're going to start plugging wares here, and we will start with Comics Division because I like starting with you.
Oh, good God, man. Why do you keep starting with me? Hi, everyone. I'm Comics Division.
Usually,
I
guys
talk-
finish with you. I had to get it out there. Sorry, go.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, I talk about comic books. I've been doing a lot more live streams than reviews lately. I actually managed to crap out 2 comic book reviews this week.
Who are you, Ethan?
I know, which is funny because with my Thor review, Mighty Thor Soda 5, I actually lost like 4 subscribers, but I was a real asshole in that review, so that's probably why. So if you're easily triggered, you might not be interested in my channel because I can be pretty brutal on stuff. I don't hold back. My live streams, however, I'm a lot more nicer. You can ask Gary and Feisty about that because they're on quite a bit. Typically on Thursdays, what's that?
I said you make us say that, but it's okay.
Yeah, I do. It's because I have blackmail material. But yeah, typically Thursdays, we do talk about stuff that's going on in the comic book industry from a retailer perspective because we've lost a lot of comic book shops this year and last year, and it's pretty terrible. And we're trying to find ways to make the industry good, and we want to make sure that comic books survive. So, yeah, there's that.
Solution-based.
Solution-based. Also, you can find me on Twitter as Comics Division. I don't really say a whole lot on Twitter. I just got way too much crap going on. It's usually just me promoting stuff or occasionally making a comment, and I think I've talked way too much at this point.
Thank you, Comics. And Feisty.
What up, guys? Feisty Fan here. You can find me on Twitter at Feisty Comic Fan, and I finally am probably going to be putting up some material on my YouTube page. So it's going to be the same thing, Feisty Comic Fan, and yeah, I'll tell you guys after what I'm going to do because it's pretty funny. So, but yeah. And I'm usually a guest on streams more than anything. Yeah, our Thursday on Comics Division. I love that stream. It's a lot of fun. And that's all I got.
It is.
Coming soon, Feisty Fan and Comics Division with me doing Farscape. That's right, Farscape fans.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I still need
we
it.
still need to do our ancient alien thing, too.
Oh, God, yeah. I'll back channel you that. Well, we got to talk soon on that. And Dennis laughs. It's
you might
true,
actually
man. It's
might have to make me research stuff for a change.
Nice. I won't, but no, just kidding. Susan.
Yes.
Plug
Yes.
away.
You can read my stuff on 1428 Elm. I can be found on Twitter at Susan on the Ledge and at Facebook on Susan Leighton. And starting next week, I'm back at my old stomping grounds of TV Series Hub, where you can read my views on Brockmire on IFC, starring Hank Azaria. So that's coming up next week.
Ooh.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very cool. Englentine.
Hey, I'm Englentine from I Love Comics. Do videos, a lot of comic book reviews recently. Sometimes I do a comic book roast. I've actually put out a challenge to Corrupt to do a roast of Savage Dragon 233, which has the Bald is Beautiful cover, where the wife has shaving cream on her nethers.
Yes.
But also, as we've pimped out already, my bread and butter, my baby is Comic Book Thunderdome every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, putting two geeks against each other so we can fight the fights, debate the debates that we might have in any comic book forum or comic book shop. So at least check that out. The live streams seem to be what people come for. They love those because basically it's chaos. It's just a lot of fun. And yeah, it's PG-13 videos, but it usually is an R-rated live stream. So tons of fun. I love comics. Check it out.
Do check it out. It's awesome. Dennis, what's your Twitter?
Yes.
My Twitter's at DeForce, DAFORCE. Gary's is at Nerdrotics with an S. And you can find us on Facebook. We also have a Facebook podcast group. It's the Nerdrotic Podcast Group, where you can post all kinds of interesting things. Come and join both of them. And we put a lot of content on there, which we go over. Usually we do it on Fridays. We might actually be doing a little special thing on Sunday.
Yeah, I was just a little programming note. I have to work on Monday, so we're gonna move my morning live stream to Sunday just this week. Not exactly stoked about it, but you got to do what you got to do. So isn't that bad that I'm like, I mean, it's great that I'm going to work and making a little extra paper, but like I'm missing my YouTube channel more. I gotta get my priorities straight, or maybe I do have them.
I've got the same priorities, man. I've been like, oh, I want a job, but I don't want to. I know what I want to do. You know,
Exactly.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you. I want this to be the job, but you got to find something else. You got to,
Yep. But it's getting just like today was totally distracted. I'm like Eglantine and fucking Feisty and Comics Division. Like I could not concentrate. Bro, I was shit today at work. Okay, so sorry, Mr. Butler. But I'll make up for it tomorrow. Okay, that's right, Langley. Got to make that paper. That's right. All right, so everybody, great job. Thank you so much for being on our channel. Dennis and I really appreciate it.
Yep.
This
Definitely.
was so much fucking fun. This goes down in nerdrotic history as pretty much kind of our moment where we got kind of legit. So I thank you again. I hope to have you all on again sometime in the near future. If I haven't totally pissed everybody off
Hey, for
about the
Han
Spider-Man
Solo.
comment. What was
I'm
that?
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Dude,
For Han
I
Solo?
would
No, that's when I went to pee, dude. It was when Han Solo trailer came on. I'm okay. I'm out.
same here.
Well, see, I did it before the movie, and then it was like I said, I had a beer, so I'm just gonna blame that. That's all.
Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says epic live stream. Thank you so much. Thanks, Ed Brewer. He said that's why we're all here tonight. You guys are
Gary.
fucking awesome. Oh, stop.
Ed Brewer is awesome.
Ed Brewer is fucking awesome. And yeah.
Mhm.
You should thank the super chats people too. Just saying.
Dude. Yeah. Thanks. Usually Dennis does that for me, but holy shit, we had a lot. So how do you say that name? Dennis, the top one, Vera Magesha?
Vera Magesha,
Yeah.
yes.
Vera Magesha, $5 for the spoiler warning. Viking Bitch, $2 because she wants to hear more Susan. We might have to give Viking Bitch your money back. Sorry, Susan. We love you. Feisty fan for like breaking the rules and not giving a super chat while you're on the chat. So I'm going to get you back for that. That's for Thor. And Logan McLeod, $5 because he had to leave, but he had shit to do. He's got to go make his paper too, but he's going to come back and listen later. Thank you so much again for the super chats. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.